Even me?
Wasn't that fun, everybody? We like to have fun here at my channel. I'm going to unmute you boys now.
Very fun.
Boys, as in male. There are 3 dudes in this call.
Yeah.
Say something, Kenzie, with your hyper-masculine voice.
Time again
Yeah.
to read another story. Or 2.
I don't even know. I just felt like streaming, and I didn't really have anything planned other than streaming.
It's Vince's channel. This is gonna be going on till 1 a.m.
Fuck you.
Oh boy.
Like, oh, you're a busy man, huh, tough guy?
I am absolutely not.
That's what I thought. So shut your hole. Okay, what's this back? Okay.
Hey, I have a question
No,
for everyone here.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's not.
Have you heard this freaking new Netflix show called Clickbait?
No.
It's very dumb. Very dumb.
To be expected.
Is that Squid Game?
Basically, no, not Squid Game. Clickbait.
No.
I watched that yesterday. I spent the whole day watching it.
Is it good?
I liked it.
Wait, what? Clickbait or Squid Game?
Good game.
Oh, I'm not talking about Squid Game though. I'm talking about Clickbait.
Well, now we're talking about Squid Game.
No, that Raptor started the conversation on clickbait, so let him finish his thought.
Okay, so basically, here's basically the plot synopsis. There was this woman whose name I forgot, but I will call Faunus because she reminds me of Faunus from Berserk, and her brother. Her brother gets kidnapped by these terrorist people who basically say that if this video gets a million views, then the brother would die.
I hate it already.
Oh, you mean like a shitty fucking YouTube video clickbait?
Like Smiley or fucking cyberbully?
Well, basically, it's not on a YouTube adjacent, it's more like a live league adjacent where the guy's one of time saying that I am a wife beater, I will die if the video gets 50 billion views. So naturally, the media picks up, and the video gets 100 views. So Faunus and the brother's wife, Casca, has to go and find out where the brother is located so they can save him before the video gets 5 million views.
Damn.
That sounds painfully bad.
It is. Like, Faunus is so annoying. Not Berserk Faunus, this Faunus. Like, she's a bitch.
Vince, what do you think of Demon Slayer? I've never played Demon Slayer. Oh, I never watched Demon Slayer, excuse me. I know Demon Slayer is an anime. I don't watch anime. Because I'm an alpha Chad. Too busy impregnating women to save the white race. Even though I'm black.
Speaking of things that are terribly bad, Venom Let There Be Carnage is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But it's also one of the greatest. It was so...
Woo! And yeah, we're just about the 3D era GTA trilogy before Rockdown took... Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't have as much enthusiasm about that as some other people do. If only because I think I think a general consensus is that all the GTA games past 4 have not aged all that well. I enjoyed them for nostalgia's sake, and they were groundbreaking for the time. But the stories have aged well, relatively speaking. Especially Vice City and San Andreas.
Mm.
At least that's my perspective.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying about Venom? Have as much enthusiasm about
it's terrible, but it's also the funniest movie I've ever seen, so...
I mean, I kind of... Who directed it?
And the guy who plays Gollum in the fucking Lord of the Rings movies.
Andy Serkis?
Yeah, Andy Serkis. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I saw the advertisement for it, and I'm like, this kind of... I don't know, I'm approaching it as I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but like I'm casual, and I'm a Spider-Man fan enough to know certain characters. Like I can probably recognize like more obscure villains if I spot them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a love-hate relationship with the character Carnage to begin with.
Oh, I fucking love Carnage.
Carnage is really easy to fuck up though, because I kind of.
Oh yeah, he is. They totally fuck him up, but he's also. It honestly kind of works in the favor of the movie because it makes it way more funny.
How the hell can you make a movie starring a character named Carnage and make him PG-13? Carnage does not work for PG-13, by the way, because his whole thing is that he's like there was a crossover between Spider-Man and Batman, and Carnage and the Joker got together because I think even the creator Carnage admitted, like, yeah, I pretty much just ripped off the Joker in some respects.
Oh yeah. To be fair. Carnage.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
To be fair, as comics progress, they do make there is like a distinction between Joker and Carnage, like how they operate and how they act and such.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I think in that crossover, Joker's like, all you do is kill people indiscriminately. I make a show of it. You're just a fucking hack.
Oh yeah, no, they make that very apparent in the movie because there's a scene, and it's the best scene in the fucking movie, where Carnage just fucking drives up to a Carnage in Cletus Cassidy form, drives up to a random gas station, and there's a guy behind the counter, and the guy asks, "Hey, can I help you with something?" Carnage says nothing, jumps on top of the fucking counter, kicks him in the face, and then stomps his head until he is dead. And it caught me so off guard.
That sounds amazing.
Then be like, I want to see the manager. My coffee has 2 ices in it and not 3 ice cubes.
So Venom as a Karen would be funny.
I have like one more thing to add about the freaking clickbait show.
Yeah.
There's a character in it who is basically a Redditor.
Oh,
like a straight up member of a Reddit parody called Temport. And he's part of a true crime like port who is investigating the man's disappearance.
It's kind of
the show is so dumb. How is that picked up? Who's cleaning these?
It's Netflix, so I don't know. Yeah. It's like Netflix.
Not like their standards are very high.
I don't really understand because every now and again you get like a surprising gem that pops up on Netflix as a Netflix original. Like, the Castlevania animated series. And
I saw you.
I would heavily recommend it. It's still one of my favorite things to come out on Netflix, period. But it's like you gotta filter through. It's like filtered through the heavy layer of shit and live action adaptations of anime made by Westerners who don't care about actually having it adapted. They just want to use it as a power fantasy for some bizarre reason.
Cowboy Bebop. Avatar, even though it's not technically an anime, but it still counts.
To be fair,
I just don't care when people get upset about it, though.
To be fair, it's not Amazon Prime, at least.
True.
Yeah, at least Netflix has some standard quality standards.
I don't know why people just get so upset. Like, I
Does
understand the frustration that
fans... Over Amazon Prime, yes.
I understand the frustration that fans get when it comes to these shitty adaptations and the flagrant disrespect and the disdain that the creators have towards the audiences that were here first. But you also have to bear in mind, my philosophy, if they don't care, why should I? And I mean that in the sense that I'm not going to get worked up over something that, this doesn't warrant my outrage. Like, I've seen worse shit happen to things I hold dear, and it's kind of come so standard practice that you kind of have to come to expect it at this point. Something that you enjoy, like in any part of fandom or anything like that, is going to get co-opted by some dipshit who's trying to use it as a power, like some kind of weird power fantasy, and it's obnoxious, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's a very nihilistic way of seeing it, but whatever.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. I mean, like, there's not enough time in the day, is there, to fucking get mad about, like.
I gotta go to work. I gotta to keep a roof over my head,
I really do hate, like, even with a bad adaptation, like, and certain fans are like, "Oh, they ruined the franchise for me." Like, it's only ruined if you let it ruin it for you.
Like, to be fair, it depends on. It depends on what, like, specifically is done with the media that you're trying to adapt to begin with. Like, I still to this day, like, I was never a huge fan of Star Wars, and but the new trilogy and the direction that they took ruined, and they ruined it specifically because, like, I'm not complete. I don't have the aversion to killing popular characters like everyone else does, right? Yeah. Like, it has to serve as a purpose. It has to actually lead to better things down the line, more storytelling opportunities. And they squandered, like, time and time again. It's like, you killed all the characters that people liked in the original films to make this. This is the best you could do with that. What you did, you sacrificed it for nothing.
Well, here's what I mean by, like, when someone says, "Oh, they ruin it." Like, yeah, with Star Wars, these newer installments are shit, and they'll probably continue to be shit. But what I'm saying is, if you let them ruin the original trilogy for you, you're an idiot.
Well, I think it kind of, in some respects, like, you can't help but have its leading slightly ruined because from now on, every time you watch the original trilogy, you're always gonna have to bear in mind, it doesn't matter what happens here. You know how, like, I love Han Solo. Oh, he's gonna get stabbed in the gut and die by my son later on. Oh no.
Honestly, I kind of like the Han Solo death. I think that one's fairly justified. I
don't know. Maybe I'm just really good at ignoring shit I don't like.
No, I'm saying it depends. Like, if there was, like, a live action, like, I don't know, like, what's something I really enjoy? JoJo. I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh boy.
Make that into
the most piece of the franchise.
Like, I don't care if, like, some Westerners don't care. Like, and I always say Westerners because I just don't think some sensibilities and some types of humor don't translate well. Like, I'm trying to imagine, well, then again, Japanese making Superman actually does sound cool. Never mind.
Japanese, they made a manga version of the Marvel Universe one time.
Yeah, isn't it called My Hero something?
Nah. That's the joke.
No, but I heard about.
Got him.
I saw there was, like, a Deadpool in an anime or something like that, and it was voiced by the guy who voices Dio in the Japanese, in JoJo.
That actually sounds so fitting.
I think that was there is a character in My Hero Academia that's basically just Deadpool, but he can clone himself. But I don't remember his.
I know they made a live action JoJo. I'm talking about I'm not talking about the Japanese version. I'm talking about, like, a live action version made by, like, on basically Netflix adaptation
Like the Netflix Death Note movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, you forgot about it, didn't you?
I didn't.
You bringing it up.
I can't. I'm not like for that. I can't. I'm not even upset. I'm just like, why? Why did you do all these decisions that you made? Like, do you actively hate the people that made the original thing? I'm not being facetious. I really need to know. Like, or are you so narcissistic that this Death Note thing is pretty good? You know, it's got a pretty good. You know what would make it even better if it had me. And you know what the problem is? The main character is not me, and it does not have my level of melanin. Let's change that.
Oh, hey, Mr. Shader. I haven't actually read Manga Marvel. I just remember seeing a picture of Hulk, like, the sides of a building crushing a frost giant, and I thought that was super sick. So
Have you at least watched a Japanese Spider-Man?
Somehow I can't imagine Hulk with anime eyes.
Japanese Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man, period. He has a fucking
Who are you?
Gundam.
An emissary from hell. Spider-Man!
People need to watch those old fucking Super Sentais, like the first ever Super Sentai. Like, there's a literal, I think it's Jack. I think that's one of the first ones I saw, and it has a literal one of the, I guess, monsters of the week. It's a Nazi alligator man. Like, oh well, you're just calling him a fat. No, I'm not saying a hyperbolic term for Nazi, or I'm not calling him a fascist. It is a man. It's an alligator man with a giant alligator head, with a swastika and a Hitler mustache, and he's the monster of the week.
That
Which
reminds
was
me.
that?
Jaka is Jack, Jakq. I think that's just it. Yeah, like, you know, Jack, Ace, King, Queen.
That reminds me. Turkish Spider-Man, best Spider-Man. We can't debate this anymore.
Does he have a Gundam?
No, but he does have a knife.
That's enough. That's enough. I've heard enough. No Gundam, no.
What about Italian Spider-Man? Respect in the thunder.
Italian Spider-Man, you say?
Italian Spider-Man.
The only Spider-Man that matters.
The Marvel manga was a little. Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, now I.
No, wasn't that American made? Those Americans trying to replicate like.
Was it? I thought there was a manga for.
Yeah, it was
like
a parody of like Italian action films.
It was like some weird. Oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Like there was an Elektra manga style book comic, but I do remember there was a fucking actual manga about Marvel characters at one point.
Oh fuck! Is my mouse dead? No, it's my.
Oh.
I know there was an anime Batman.
There was. Was it terrible? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet either. I'm afraid to.
Are you talking about?
Because I don't want it to be shit.
Are you talking about? What's it called?
Talking about Samurai Batman.
Yeah, that. Oh shit.
The one with Joker who's sword fighting Batman and should die immediately.
It looks weird.
It does.
Of course it looks weird. It's Batman as anime.
Fucking Red Hood has like a weird basket like helmet.
Well, Red Hood is weird to begin with.
Yeah, Red Hood's a hot take. Hot take.
What?
Red Hood could have said that.
I think I don't know, because I think there's potential for him to be like a recurring like anti-villain, but I think they need to understand anti-villain for Batman. He's not interesting enough for his own story.
Indeed, he is not.
Except
I heard the comic with him and Artemis and Bizarro was alright.
Also, I want another hot take.
I know he has a comic series with Starfire and.
Yeah, it wasn't very. I heard it got better.
Yeah, what's his name? Roy Harper.
But then they changed the team. They changed it to Bizarro and Artemis, and apparently it got better.
I have a hot take.
I mean, that is an interesting pair up.
I have a hot take myself. Hush sucks.
Oh yeah, no, Hush is pretty fucking stupid.
I'm not talking about the original story.
Himself or the
Hush the character is fucking awful.
Oh, well, Hush the character is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Hush.
He's fucking the biggest Gary Stu in history.
Hush as a character, it doesn't matter in the fucking
Hush
story, does it?
Mush. Because he's as interesting as Mush.
Someone made I remember someone actually had an interesting idea. I think it was on, anyone see V and Fuso's video talking about why he thought Hush sucked. And I think someone in the comments had an interesting idea, like have Hush be like an amalgamation of all the villains working together to kind of create this like larger than life character that can do anything. Like Riddler as a planner and like all the like Clayface morphing the shape as Bruce Wayne. Like, oh, that actually sounds kind of interesting. But instead we got like, I'm mad at you because I tried to kill my parents and you stopped me. So therefore I'm going to dedicate my entire life to being the bestest and baddestest. I'm smarter than Riddler and I can outsmart the Riddler and I can dupe the Joker and I got some amazing surgery skills and I can shoot better than Deadshot. I can
break Bane's back.
Fuck off.
I mean, fucking, does he even appear after Hush? Like, does he ever show up again?
He does, a few times. It's just that they don't know what to do with him because that was all he was good for. I can't even say he was good for, because he's the worst part of his own story, his storyline.
They realized that they made him too OP, and they were like, fuck, what are we supposed to do with this?
That's why you don't see Clayface around much.
He's not.
It's like fucking Doomsday.
I think there's like... Well, it also depends on which version of Clayface you're talking about, because I think... What was it? Clayface number 2 is the one with the helmet that he couldn't touch anyone unless they would like turn to mush, and he would absorb them.
That's fucking weird.
His comic was there was a comic with him where he was like in I think like a mall, and he like fell in love with a mannequin because he was like so lonely and delusional, and it's amazingly well written and it's surprisingly tragic.
I like Clayface as a character. He's also way too strong to be a Batman villain, though.
He doesn't. I like Batman villains when they're like weird science things and occasionally mobsters and science doofuses and anarchists.
Yeah. But that's like why you don't see Clayface that much. Like, and there's like, I think there's like 8 different Clayfaces because they have to like try to power him down because technically he's too dangerous as a Batman villain.
Oh yeah, no. Clayface is like a fucking Martian Manhunter level character. He can beat people. He beats the shit out of people constantly.
You think it would be a villain in like something like Swamp Thing?
Yeah. He did fight, by the way, before you mentioned. Yes, he did fight Martian Manhunter. And yes, he was winning until a fucking nuke went off.
That's actually why I kind of like his... That's why I like his version in the Harley Quinn cartoon. Like, technically he could...
I still haven't seen the Harley Quinn cartoon.
He can do all this shit. But he's just too self-interested in his own hobbies and stuff to do the shit.
Is the Harley Quinn cartoon actually any good? Because I can't stand Harley Quinn anymore, and that's why I haven't watched it.
I've watched one clip, and it's the clip of Mr. Freeze showing up, and fucking... They ruined the joke. There's such a good joke they had in that scene. It's fucking... Mr. Freeze is coming out of Arkham, and King Shark screams, "It's Beyonce!" And it's out of fucking nowhere, and it's fucking funny as fuck. But then they ruin it because then Clayface says it's Lady Gaga. And it's like, you didn't have to fucking have that. Just have King Shark say it's Beyonce. That's funny.
I do think Iguana Boy says Red Hood's my favorite Rob. I think Jason Todd got a lot of flack. I think a fair amount of it was... I think the hatred towards him was a little bit overblown even by the standards of the time. Like, I don't think as many people hated him as, like, a lot of historians make it out to be.
Again, wasn't that whole... Is it a rumor? Was it because he was killed off? Was this one guy who just spammed the vote?
I think that was part of it, yeah.
About it. I think that was mostly just a cover-up for the fucking DC being like, well, no, we want him to be dead. So...
Well, no, because there was a contest to vote on whether or not...
I'm saying they probably breaked it so that fucking Batman, he was gonna die anyway.
I think they just wanted to get rid of him, and let's be fair, there's Tim Drake, there's Dick Grayson, and Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, and I know Damian Wayne has his moments. I know he's a very easy character to hate early on. The worst mistake they ever made with Damian Wayne is having him be the official successor to Batman, like named successor.
Yeah. Fucking, it should definitely be Dick Grayson.
Like, he is the most qualified.
I softened up a lot towards Damian when they really expanded on his relationship with Dick Grayson and how he sees him as his actual brother, which I thought was really endearing.
Don't read it.
What do I think about Man-Bat?
Wait, what?
I don't think anything about Man-Bat. Who cares about Man-Bat?
No one.
Man-Bat is the least character of any of the fucking Batman villains.
it's just a play on words that I don't even know how the character stuck around for so long, outside of just like
because he looks fucking sick. That's why. He looks fucking cool.
let me see. Harley versus Ivy. Yeah, I don't care. I don't even care about like I know Poison Ivy's like a favorite Batman rogue. I never really cared all that much for her.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
The thing is, and I was talking about this with a friend earlier, is because the writers, and I hate that it was so rushed. I was expecting Harley and Ivy to end up together at some point, but the problem is that they weren't expecting to get a third season, so they really had to bring Harley and Ivy out of nowhere.
They're like, okay, wrapping it up. Let's go.
I'm trying to think of.
But I have faith that they can at least address that in the third season, like. That maybe they'll actually lampshade the fact that oh, we got together way too quickly.
Alright.
Okay,
I have
one
a question.
What?
Yeah.
Speak.
You go first.
No, speak, bitch. I'm talking to you,
Okay.
Kenzie.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I said what I was gonna say.
I just felt like calling you a bitch. What were you gonna say, Raptor?
Woman.
Who wants to read a story?
No.
Oh yeah, we could do that. But first, I have a question.
What?
Who's the least Batman villain? Like the least developed, and the one you don't care about the most.
I'm talking
Kite Man.
What?
Kite Man.
That's a fucking cop-out answer. Come on. Like an actual
fucking what's his name? I think he was a Batman villain. 10 Eyes or whatever his name was.
I have no fuck. Oh, was that the guy with on his hands?
Yeah, that fucking.
These are all fucking cop-out characters.
If he was a real person, I wouldn't mind if he got shot in the street. I would just I wouldn't even blink.
Okay, here's a better one. The freaking guy who thinks he's a pharaoh every time he gets conked on the head.
Oh, the fucking Zeus guy?
No, are you talking about King?
No, the pharaoh one.
King Tut.
Oh, there's a fucking pharaoh one?
King Tut
is just the Zeus guy.
No, that's Maxi Zeus, and Maxi Zeus actually has a few good comics though.
Yeah, that's fair.
He has a few good stories.
I'll just go with Ratcatcher.
Okay, and I think everyone is freaking
a pretty cool villain though to me.
I don't know shit about Ratcatcher, and I don't really care to.
He's a fucked up villain.
Damn.
It's the Quizzler, from the episodes of the 60 series, because he's just a Whittler. He's basically just a Whittler, but instead of Whittles, it's Quizzes.
Yeah.
Quizzler.
I found what's his name?
I'm gonna call up the cricket on your ass.
I'm gonna.
No, I'm not insulting the Whittler. I'm insulting the Quizzler.
Yeah, no,
the Whittler's cool. The Quizzler is a poser.
What's his name? I just thought about. I thought of an answer. I would say that's pretty controversial because I know he's a favorite for a fair amount of people. Victor Zsasz.
Oh yeah.
I don't care that much about Victor Zsasz either.
You get back to his gimmick, and his gimmick is the tally marks, right? And
yeah,
I hate how he's, and it sounds. I know I'm gonna piss off, and there's only 8 people here. I don't think they got pissed off that many people.
Yeah.
It sounds like Jeff the Killer has dialogue I want to free people from their pain. They're just zombies walking around, and I free. Oh, fuck off, bro.
I mean, he did predate Jeff the Killer, though, at least.
I know. I think it's also one of those things where that is if you ever listen to the Anatomy of Serial Killers and whatnot, a fair amount of them do have that kind of nihilistic, kind of bizarre way of looking at the world, and that's how they justify their actions. But
it comes off really edgy when you write it.
It doesn't. You can't say any characters like Conor McKing. You will put some respect on Conor McKing. If you spread some sriracha sauce in your fucking eyes, you're out for a few days. I think maybe.
Calendar Man actually got a fucking hella reboot, didn't he?
Iguana Boy says that Victor Zsasz is a very easy character to fuck up. Well, the thing is that there's really. Because it's his gimmick and his backstory, which is directly tied to his gimmick, so you really can't experiment with anything and create new iterations of Zsasz without just changing the entire character.
I think when I think of Victor Zsasz, I think like in terms of his characterization, I kind of picture like the redone version of Bullseye from the Punisher Max series.
Oh,
where just like
fucking Bullseye from the movie,
insanely fucked up. Like have you ever read Punisher Max? Which I love Punisher and I love Punisher Max.
No, I thought you meant Bullseye from.
They actually did the redesign from the movie. Like the redesigned version from the movie was incorporated into Punisher Max, so he has that weird target thing on his head, and the Punisher he's a fucking lunatic, and he does all these weird rituals. Like Kingpin calls up, yeah, I got a thing that you murdered all these people on the street. What the fuck? And he's like, yeah, apparently Frank Castle, he had his family die, killed in front of him. So I felt like to understand his psychology, I had to have people that are closest to me die, and he meant that literally. So he just murdered a bunch of people. It's like, but the weird thing is, I didn't feel a goddamn thing watching him die. It's kind of funny. Like, what the
Bullseye is usually one of my favorite fucking Marvel villains. He's such a fucking, he's so fucking funny.
He's so, like, I don't know, the Punisher Max version is so fucking evil and insane. And that's kind of what I wanted out of Victor. Like, imagine someone who slept, like, I think he dug up Punisher's parents. No, that was someone else. I think at one point he just like sleeps in Punisher's bed, just like, okay, I can get a psychic link on him now. And the weird thing about it is, despite how insane a lot of this bullshit sounds, he comes closer to killing him than anyone else.
Oh yeah, no, fucking Bullseye's a fucking. Bullseye's got to be immune, right? Because in the comics, he does shit that he literally could not do if he were just a person throwing stuff.
I would like to see. I would like to see that live action Barracuda. I would like that live action Punisher show. I want to see Bullseye, and I want to see Barracuda. Even though
Bullseye,
the guy
Bullseye
from
was in season 3 of Daredevil. Yeah,
I want him in my heart. He's a Punisher villain too.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to see Barracuda. Barracuda is the worst evil fucker ever, and I love him.
Did they ever use Jigsaw in the?
How could you not?
The fucking Punisher show? I didn't watch it. I know it happened.
I know they did in that movie.
Oh well, we don't talk about that movie.
Solomon Grundy's movie. I like Solomon Grundy. I don't think he fits as a Batman villain though.
Vince, apparently what you said pissed someone off about Zaz there because it seems like he just lost a subscriber.
Oh well.
So just unsubscribed.
Bro, you posted cringe. You are going to lose. Social credit. You will be executed in Tiananmen Square at September 18th at 9 a.m.
Solomon's great. Anarchy, but I don't like. I'm the Joker's kid idea. Anarchy. I think the person behind the Anarchy alias changes every installment, right?
Does it?
I think so. Like I haven't read Batman Anarchy. I do like his design though. Like I'm a casual comic reader.
Yeah, same.
Like it's just like I will defend Punisher as a character because there was a point in time where a lot of people were like Punisher isn't cool. He's just like whatever. And like I beg to. I love the Schadenfreude of gangsters and drug dealers and pedophiles being gunned down in the street.
Yeah, no, Punisher is a fun... I don't know how anyone could say Punisher isn't a cool character. I can see how people can say Punisher is not a justified character.
I do...
It's like, he's a psychopath.
I love... and one of the things I love about him is that he doesn't, like... Because he has PTSD from Vietnam and whatnot, and he's been all those shit, and the first thing he'll say to him when you try to psychoanalyze him is like, don't you fucking blame what I am on that shit. I'm a horrible person. Don't like, and there are people with PTSD that don't even dream of doing the shit I do. Like, don't try to lump them in with someone like me.
Even Punisher doesn't justify Punisher. Punisher's even he knows that he's pretty fucked up.
I know. That's why I love whenever people who perpetually have a cop's boot in their mouths use like him as a symbol for like Blue Lives Matter.
Hold on.
Punisher being a Blue Lives Matter, like the Punisher logo being for like a Blue Lives Matter thing is genuinely really funny.
It's also kind of horrifying.
He's also used unironically as like a symbol for the U.S. military.
which is also fucked up because like he just shoots people in the street.
No, not just that. Like even if you want to know, like get into the meat of the character, is like I use this to symbolize that I'm a character who went through immense psychological torture in an unjustified war.
Do you remember when Punisher was Frankenstein?
I prefer not to.
It's actually a really fun comic, to be honest.
Hold on.
So
remember when the Punisher was a black dude? I know. I'm like,
you remember when Punisher had angel guns for some fucking reason?
I like to admit, like, if people are hearing that, it's like, oh, it's like some weird adaptation where they changed the character. No, he got fucked up. I don't remember the context. And, like, someone did some back alley surgery on him. And they, for some reason, when they were doing surgery, they injected him with melanin. And that made his skin completely dark and, for some reason, gave him, like, fuller lips. So,
I feel like...
it was
I feel like injecting someone with pure melanin would just kill them, wouldn't it?
I don't know why she even did it. Like, I think she said she was like using it as a substitute for something. The thing that made it even more fucked up to me was that, you know what the context of that was? Like what? From the story. That was the Punisher Nick Cage crossover or Luke Cage crossover. They worked together, and like Luke Cage had to work with the Punisher, who was
doing blackface, but like real.
Just gonna show it on screen real quick. Because people have been staring at this raining thing before. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, stream will start soon.
Let me take that down. Well, technically we haven't streamed. You see, this is my favorite Punisher moment personally. The Batman, the Batman Punisher crossover, where Punisher puts the fear of God in the fucking Joker.
Where he's about to shoot him in the fucking head.
And then Batman shows up.
The Joker's like, oh fuck.
Oh my god, he's really gonna kill me. I'm going to die now. And I don't think it's so much the fact that he was gonna die that he was scared of. Like, I'm gonna get killed by someone who doesn't care about me. Like, I'm just a thug to this dude.
I'm gonna get killed by some fucko with a gun.
I'm getting killed by someone who's not Batman.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, that does sound like something Joker would really be afraid of, getting killed by someone that's not Batman.
Have you guys ever watched or read Emperor Joker?
No, but it is. I know of it. I know.
Me too.
That comic actually sold me on Superman as a character. I was in the Superman is boring camp for a long time, like most people. And that book changed my mind. And one of the moments I really liked was Superman tricking the Joker, who's basically become super god, like to the point where he can literally like the universe is tearing itself apart because Joker has tricked Mr. Spitlick into revealing his real name, and not just his because apparently his race has multiple names, but only one of them is his real name, and if you know it, you can actually acquire all their power.
What?
And Joker becomes super god.
Oh,
and he warps reality and fucks with everyone's shit up. It rips Superman's heart out while he's like leaning on top of the sun. It's kind of weird. And Superman tricks him by giving him a logical paradigm that he can't solve. It's like, okay, he proves like, okay, brings up white elephants. You know that joke?
Yeah.
And Joker's like, that's not a joke. It's like a weird little anecdote. And out of spite, he wipes the concept of white out of existence. It's like, okay, well, you can do. It's like, I wiped Batman out of existence, and Superman's like, I'm sorry, you wiped what out of existence? I wiped wait a minute, how am I still saying Batman if I just wiped him out of existence? It's like, and
fuck.
As powerful as how powerful can you be if you can't forget one dude? And that reverts everything.
Brilliant.
It's a fun comic too.
Anyways,
I'll have to check that out.
Why does Batman always get the fucking best crossover comics?
I think it's because he's diverse enough to where it's one of those things where I think characters that have good chemistry with them, he can always play the straight man to anyone, and it's always fun to watch him like try to bounce off other people.
Because he has a good comic with Punisher and Predator, and let's see, that Predator comic is fucking awesome.
I was about to say like a good one with Spawn, but I didn't remember a lot of the Spawn ones sucked.
No.
Let's be honest.
What's the one from the
Frank
evil
Miller.
even evil has standards trope page where it's like Joker's like, I've been working with a Nazi this whole time. I may be a deranged criminal lunatic, but I'm an American deranged criminal lunatic. That was a crossover, right?
That's a crossover with Captain America.
I hate how people bring that up as a positive for Joker. That doesn't mean anything coming from him.
Yeah, no, he's a terrible human being. But it's also a really funny moment.
I would argue that he's done much worse things than Red Skull has. Objectively.
I don't know. Nazis, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, it's an easy target, but people like, I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, because fucking Red Skull did fucking mutant Holocaust.
Well, Joker would have done worse. You know he would. He would have done it just like it sounds fucked up.
But he did it though. He actually did it though.
Well, wait, didn't Joker nuke a country?
Did he? When the fuck did that happen?
He did. He nuked Metropolis in Injustice.
Yeah, but that's Injustice. Fucking Superman fucking ripped people's heads off in Injustice. It's not like
I like Injustice.
Yeah, no, but it's a silly fucking story.
I think Injustice is kind of overplayed, honestly. I'm only speaking because I'm here like, what if Superman... I'm so fucking sick of that story. What if Superman turned into an evil fascist? Like, yeah, whatever.
We've heard... I think it's just now becoming, like, the thing DC does, where it's like, what if Superman was evil? What if Superman was a good guy? You fucking hacks. Right that.
I'm so sick of that shit, man. Like, I hate this weird nihilistic approach to, like, I don't know, maybe just, the world is bitter and angry and cynical enough. Can't we just have a character that's a good person who does good things?
I want some Superman being nice to people.
Okay, did you have a story to suggest, Raptor? Is that why you were running your mouth about reading stories on the stream where it's called Creepypasta and random crap?
Well, we got the random crap thing down pretty well, but no one knows?
I just have some like crappy pastas. Like a lot of crappy pastas.
No, not crap. I'm not gonna. Not crap. I don't like covering crappy pastas. I like covering things that. I don't know, something that could actually make it onto the wiki or the website itself, if only because, like, okay, this is what you hold as decent enough to actually be passable.
We're talking about what the wiki is okay with? Okay, I got a suggestion then.
Well, you sound you Billy Big Balls over here, okay?
Let's read the fucking Watch for Wandering Towers story. It's my favorite on the fucking wiki.
Again, sorry for interrupting a lot.
It's alright, man. Don't worry about it.
What are you talking? Like, I've been waiting for you to say something. Like, you haven't been in anything.
I just don't have much to talk about.
We're just talking about fucking Batman.
You don't have anything to talk about regarding. You don't read.
Okay, I got one thing to talk about. I got one thing to talk about.
Okay.
Am I the one who was fucking pissed off that Netflix canceled that Dark Crystal show?
The what show?
Like, it was really good.
They ended it with a cliffhanger too, right?
Yeah, like a cliffhanger, and they just canceled it because Netflix apparently hates good quality apparently, and sunshine and rainbows and everything happy. Like I like that show. I like the characters.
Can you write what you said? I don't think I heard you. Can you write it in chat so I know what you're talking about?
He's talking about the Dark Crystal show. One with Puppet and such.
I've never heard of it.
It's apparently it's really good. I haven't watched it.
It is
a continuation of this fantasy puppet movie from the 80s. It was like Jim Henson. It was supposed to be like from Jim Henson's company. It was supposed to be like a magnum opus, but like
no one watched it.
And the writer has like all this background stuff that didn't even make it in the movies, and it got spin-off comics and books, and it finally got made into a show again.
Nice. And then it got canceled.
Yeah.
Does Netflix rather have the...
I don't know what the fuck that is.
No, okay, so I'm glad you didn't, because I only watched one episode, then I was like, oh, this is shit. Never mind. It's basically, they tried to do what Amazon's been doing with The Boys and Invincible.
Wait a minute, I think I know what you're talking about. Is that the Fox superhero thing?
Yeah, they tried to do a superhero show that was based on like an edgy, like alternative comic book series, but it's shit, and no one liked it. no.
So if we're like, why don't HBO Max? Why don't you do an adaptation of Marvel?
Oh shit, they're doing an adaptation of. Oh wait, no, Marvel. Never mind.
Yeah, the one where that. Who was that pretentious cunt that made that fucking thing?
Fucking was it Kirkman? It sounds like something Kirkman would do. I feel like.
I can't stress enough how little of opinion I have of that person. It's not.
I'm looking up Marvel.
If you're not a writer, then don't fucking write, bro.
Was that the same time they made a comic about Uncle Ben and Aunt
Yeah,
Aunt May
oh,
as teenagers?
oh my god!
What? What?
Oh, you guys haven't heard of that
Oh my
story?
god! I forgot about that.
Oh my god!
I have not heard this. What?
No. Now we okay.
Let me be clear. Hold on. Let me be Kenzie. Before he starts, let me be clear. He's not speaking hyperbole. He's not being coy or playful, and he's not like being anecdotal. That is exactly what the story's about. It is a like sex.
It's a fucking like. It's like a fucking like
American Pie.
Fucking Aunt May, Uncle Ben, Peter's parents as like teenagers in a like summer camp setting, fucking each other or something. It's not. It's as terrible as you think.
The comic, the comic doesn't allude to it at first. The stinger at the end is that they say each other's names like, "Oh my god, ew, that's Uncle Ben and Aunt May."
And like Mr. Fantastic shows up at their wedding for some fucking reason.
He did?
Yeah, or someone shows up at their wedding, and Jean Grey's like grandma is the one that gives Aunt May a prophecy that she won't have kids or something. It's really stupid. Don't worry about it.
You guys can't see my face right now, but I've been spending the past 2 minutes just staring into the void.
Oh, hey Kenzie, how
contemplating what universe someone wanted to write.
Hey Kenzie, where do I get
backstory for Uncle Ben and Aunt May as young adults or teenagers?
Fucking each other, all
fucking at a summer camp.
Balls deep in Aunt May. Every time you think, every time you see fucking Aunt May being like supportive to Peter Parker, just remember like Uncle Ben was balls deep in that ass.
Also remember that she's technically his mom. And also not his mom because she gave him away at birth to her sister, who is now his mom. But it doesn't matter, so never mind. Don't worry about it.
What?
Uncle Ben is not his dad. Don't worry.
Hold on. See, I think Mr. Shady, a quick question. Smile Dog, any good? I thought it was enjoyable. It was better than I expected it to be, certainly.
Ooh, how do I? Hey, Kenzie, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How do I donate money to Manny? To get stories on your channel?
He has a Ko-fi, so that would be a link in his. Just look in the link in any of his videos.
A random question: Is Ko-fi a reference to like buy me a coffee?
Is it Ko-fi? Ko-fi? I've seen it pronounced so many different ways.
I assume Ko-fi because like, hey, buy me a coffee. As like, oh, play on words because we're hip. Every time I see an advertiser try to like speak to me on my level, I want to punch the executive in the fucking throat. Like, just tell me what your product can and can't do, and get the fuck out of my face. I don't want you in my life.
How much for a long story? It's $20 for a long story, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Something like that.
Why don't you ever pay me $20?
Because I'm not rich enough, and I need these people to suffer.
Fuck you.
And I don't have money.
I love you guys, but also suffer.
Fuck you.
I'll be on the channel. I'll do it with you guys, but I'm suggesting this. What the fuck is this story called? What's it called? Oh, fuck.
Okay.
I'm looking it up. Aunt May, Uncle Ben.
Uncle Bean, yes.
Story. Teenager story.
I think I was watching. I tuned in for the fucking I Am Not Starfire stream, and
we still have part 2.
Oh boy.
Part 3.
That upsets me for a different Look,
I don't think there's gonna be a part 3. It's not as long as it looks, and part 2 just, I don't know why there's a different part 2, because when you just keep clicking on the website, it'll automatically go into part 2. I couldn't tell I was in part 2 until it almost ended.
I'm in the mindset where, because I know there are people that legitimately believe that this person, the author or whatever, like, I'm in the camp of like, if she has some grievances that she wants to air about her, like the life she's lived, like I think she's entitled to it, and I think there's an interesting story that she could potentially be told, right? But it's like, I don't know how to put this. Like, why did you need to use this character and use this setting to tell this story? Like, why not is not a good answer. If your only answer is why not, then don't use it because you haven't justified it to yourself.
Like, you can go ahead and do it. Like, yeah, Skim we thought was bad, but at least it's not taking pre-existing and beloved characters.
I can't even say that. The weird thing is, I would say like it's character assassination of the no. Starfire is being as nice and as supportive as a mother you expect her to be.
Oh no, it is not by any means like character assassination. Like, Starfire is pretty in character, at least when you watch the show, because she's clearly just mostly basing it off of the show's version of Starfire.
Yeah. It depends on what
the cartoon, I mean. And they're just used for plot devices. Like, if you could literally replace Starfire with any character ever, and what changes? Like, replace her with Wonder Woman. Replace her with Black Canary. What changes? Nothing.
I think Wonder Woman would even work better, if only because if you want to have like some kind of weird social commentary and like social justice feminist bent, I think Wonder Woman fits more into that category for appealing to people within that circle. You know what I mean?
I'll be back in a sec, guys.
I counted. That was 1 second. You're a fucking liar. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to find an interesting story to read.
Alright.
Something maybe that's relatively popular. Let's see. Maybe Pasta of the Months. The Pasta of the Months, brothers.
Like the pastas of pee pee poo poo. I am so clever. Please laugh. Please.
Let me see. I'll be honest. Not Starfire didn't seem all that harmful. It was boring. Yeah, I agree. I'm mostly annoyed because I'm tired of this being a trend. I am not Starfire is a symptom of a bigger problem where people who, in my personal opinion, aren't that creatively inclined, because I think there's some weird thing going on where people who aren't storytellers think that they can tell stories. And that sounds like a really fucked up thing to say, and it almost sounds elitist. But I just feel like,
I returned.
And,
back.
like, one thing I'm sick of by this particular writer, and just, like, the few things I've seen, is that it's, like, an even worse case than Stephen King of write what you know. Like, these are the only characters she knows how to write when writing, like, her own independent stories. It's always a short, fat, LGBTQ goth chick who's, like, angsting over the most minuscule things.
I think that's what that, like, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but I think that perplexes me more than anything else, because they want to portray I need to tell my story. And I'm not someone who's undergone like severe trauma or anything like that. I've had some hardship in my life, nothing that really needs to be advertised to anyone. But I'm listening to these grievances that she's trying to air, and I'm like, is that all? This is what you felt the need to put pen and paper, and like, I need to tell my story. It's like, okay, this is not that bad. I've heard worse. I have inadequacies about my self-image. Everyone does, bitch. You're not special in that regard. Everyone has problems with self-image.
But
I'm sorry, go on.
Like, as someone who's trying to write fiction myself, like, and I get that writing what you know can be really helpful and useful, and I do fall into that. But like, I also try to broaden my horizon and try to like look from perspectives of different characters that don't just relate to me. Like, I want to write like my own novella, and I'm trying to make the main. At first, like, it was like, the main character, young adult woman. I'm like, okay, well, what if I up the age more? What if I like change her profession to something I don't know much about? What if I do this or this?
It's
try to keep it as
to
try to broaden the spectrum so that it can be relatable to people who are not just me.
One of the most important things about writing characters, because I love characterization. I love writing characters and writing dialogue. One of my primary weaknesses as a writer is writing descriptions and writing locations, like settings. But perspective, in the sense that I get why this person would think this, or why they would approach this in this matter. They have their own logic. They're alien from you. They're like, you can understand them as a person. And it's a weird thing where it's like a noticeable lack of empathy on the part of a lot of modern writers when it comes to like their characterization of certain characters, like in I Am Starfire, and how every character doesn't feel like a real person. Like, I would argue the main character does feel like a real person because it is based on the writer itself. But everyone else,
it's got a face in real life. That one has a face at least.
But it's like listening to like, okay, this feels like a real person, the way that she has feelings that she's like thinking to herself, but she's not. Like, her interaction with Starfire to me are the most grounded in the whole story to me, from what I've seen. Like, she has things that she wants to say, but she can't bring herself to say it.
Yeah, and the problem with that stuff is a different problem entirely, in that it was a complete show don't tell. It's like, oh, I have a problem with you doing this, Mom, except we never see it. You just tell us she does this.
Like, I think one of the most like effective moments, honestly, and I'm being sincere, I think it was what was it? She was like, my mom was always like saying something about X, and then Starfire just comes up and it's like one panel empty. It's like, oh, she makes an innocuous statement, and then the character's like, see? It's like, okay, so this is supposed to indicate that like a lot of the grievances that the main character has is kind of in her head. Like, this is how she perceives it because she has such low self-esteem. And like, but it doesn't really do anything with that. I don't even know that was intentional. Like, that's decent moments of characterization, but then you have every other character who feels like a prop, like something to get the plot forward.
That I have remembered this stuff, but that's because I've read it twice now.
I'm so sorry.
Why did you do that to yourself?
I read it for the first time to see if it, out of morbid curiosity, to see if it was as bad as I thought it would be, and it was. So much to the point where I was like, Manny, we have to read this on stream.
Manny, come here. Get over here. You need to suffer with me.
Black guy woman, get in here!
Dinosaur.
Get in here. It's time to
Human,
suffer
dinosaur,
more.
get in here.
That's what Raptor did. That's what Raptor did when he found fucking Empress Teresa here. He was like, black guy woman, get in here.
Get in costume, I found an irregularity. I think there's a very, like, I don't think the fucking lady who wrote I Am Starfire is ever gonna see this, like, and I don't blame her for it. Like, why would she go out and, like, she's probably making fucking hand over fist over, like, she's an accomplished, like, writer, and I do applaud that.
She fucking feels a disturbance in the force every time someone lambasts her precious work.
I just wish I could just talk to these writers directly and just, like, tell them, like, the people who are shitting on you, they don't want you to stop writing, period. I want you to get better. I want you to really absorb the finer details of the things that you're trying to ape off to actually put your name out there. And actually, like, appreciate what makes it work and try to use that within your own work instead of, like, feeling need to ape off of it.
And the thing is, I know she's written for, like, actual DC lines, and I think a few Marvel. I think she's done She-Hulk, she's done Harley.
Oh god, that sounds awful.
I don't know what she's like writing for, like, an actual comic book character. when we've been talking about her, we're only talking about her independent stuff.
Like self-insert, like characters.
Exactly. I don't know what she's like writing for already established characters. I mean, I sort of like even when she written Starfire, yeah, it was taken more from the cartoon, but like it's still very recognizably Starfire. Like even from the comics, she's still very nice. She's still wears revealing clothing. Her powers are kept the same.
Quick question: any of you think that does imply like some ideas are harder to work with than others naturally?
.exe.
I would ever do a stash story. I would just go for a spin.
Just have him be like a, cause there was these books. There was Friday the 13th, not Friday, the Halloween books. They're extremely rare. These novellas that were written and a kind of weird adaptation. Like they're not adaptation, but they're like side stories to the Halloween franchise. And if you want to see them being read, I think Dr. Wolfmuller read them on his channel, and he did a thorough review of the first one. And it's kind of flawed because it's a romance writer writing for like horror, right? But the horror sections actually really work, and like it's actually kind of suspenseful, and she's not afraid to go into gory detail. Like just apply that kind of mindset. Like just Jeff the Killer / you have to cut out any pretense of Jeff the Killer actually being like a real character. Like Jason Voorhees is not that much of a character, but you don't watch Friday the 13th for characters. You come to watch Jason Voorhees do his thing.
At least not in the later movies. In the later movies, it's like you're here to watch Jason fucking smash someone's face, and we don't even care. He's in space.
Well, besides the first one and maybe the second one, like, is there really much in the way of character? Like,
I think the third one, they were still trying at least, but like, or fourth maybe, fifth no, sixth no.
I think they're just it's like cathartic. All right, well.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, guys, but I've been perusing the Save the Creepypasta wiki.
Oh, yeah, why?
You guys know what that means, so I did send one in the chat. It's very short, but even from the second line, I think you'll get a kick out of it.
The scariest video game ever. Oh boy.
Is this like an actual...
better be spooky.
Is this an actual story in the sense that is someone putting effort into it?
Oh no, yeah, we gotta read this one.
Yeah. So the ones that show up on Save the Creepypasta wiki are the ones that people think are going to be like unfairly taken down from the Creepypasta wiki.
Give me 1 second.
Like I think you've seen some of our streams from that, Vince.
We went on here to read something. Don't you remember? We read what was the one about the lady who was fucking dogs? What was it called again?
Clown
Dog.
Yeah.
And the first line, I think it was like, I'm not into clown, like, dog porn or something like that.
Oh, no, clown dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs, yeah.
The creator is unknown. It was taken by the
I thought you were talking about the one where we made the joke about the main character wanting to fuck the dog.
I forgot, I love that one.
Also, Vince, the creator is not unknown, it's uncown.
Uncown lady sing this song, do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, uncown.
I finished playing.
But I
That's
this before.
That's going to be my new Discord name for a few days.
Epic.
What was that? You said something, rather?
Yeah, I think I met this one before, like when we were trying to find stories for the next Save Creepypasta.
Oh, don't spoil it.
Please weed in there. Okay, I won't.
It's really short.
I just finished playing one of the scariest video games ever. Now, hear me out before saying, "Oh, it's just."
That's literally why I sent it. I said, "Oh yeah, Vince is gonna yell laugh at this."
God, fuck you.
I fucking love creepypastas that just don't give a fuck.
He's probably
this guy really knows his audience.
Now hear me out before saying, "Oh, he's just probably just a fag that gets scared of everything." I don't get scared of video games or movies. I've played I play many survival horror games, and I've seen many horror games in my day. in your day.
Definitely mess up that life.
Why do people like? I don't understand why people like in my age group say "in my day." Shit.
Fucking
Your day,
right.
like the 90s? Fucking shut up.
The only
Not to interrupt, but Mateta14 says, I did a character redesign challenge for I Am Not Starfire, and while it's not the best, I'm pretty sure the story I came up with was more compelling. Mateta, if you join us this Wednesday on Bean Daddy Mandela, we're doing our part 2 reading of I Am Not Starfire. I've kind of suggested my own ways of making the story more interesting, but please join us like in the chat and give us how you rewrote the story. We would be very interested in knowing.
Hold on, I gotta
Oh dear.
take a
Remember to
sip of
like and
water
subscribe to the
fucking
channel
throat.
for more epic videos like
This wasn't supposed to be a
Subscribe to my
shameless
channel,
chill
so-
raptor.
Yeah, go.
Eh.
Also,
Might as
subscribe
well
to
make it
Byron,
one
man.
now.
He actually like writes scripts.
Alright, scripts.
That's such a novel concept for me. I legit, cause I was going through like old Google Drive account, and I found like a review, like a written review that's like a few pages long that I was doing for Sonic.exe, the remake, that I didn't ever finish.
Oh, yeah, no, you did finish that. You just fucking did it as a string in the last part.
And I was gonna do a written review, and that was years ago, and I never finished the script.
Do.
Whatever. Okay. Okay.
Oh, like you did a written review of Jeff the Killer, the remake.
Did I?
Well, you did I think it was scripted at least. You did a scripted review of Jeff the Killer, the remake.
It was pretty. Would it surprise you to hear that Jeff the Killer remake is awful?
Oh, what a shock.
Well, fuck me sideways.
I would argue that I hate it more than the original.
The original's funny, at least.
Cause I don't know, like, because I have not read the creator's cut version of it, which is the whole story that was originally supposed to be posted, but it had to be cut for size limitation for the contest.
No, that was the sequel. The one where it's Luke fucking talking about it in his like book or something.
Yeah.
That was the sequel to the.
It was just so boring.
It is, yes.
I tried.
All have.
I'm sorry. Go on.
One sec, guys.
When you try to bring logic into a story that absolutely defies logic, you pretty much take everything that was fun about making fun of it.
One of the things I've talked about this before, and it's something that it was a trap that I almost fell into. Because at one point I wanted to try my own take at writing a Jeff the Killer story just to see if I could. For a spoiler warning, I couldn't. I say that I'm not saying that against Jeff the Killer. I'm saying that against myself as a writer. But I hate when someone tries to like I'm going to try to do my take on this thing that this thing that's popular, and they begin by shitting on the thing that they're trying to like redo, and I couldn't that's one of the things that got on my nerves. Like, I don't like Jeff the Killer, I don't like Jeff the Killer's fans, and whatnot, but I don't know, like, that's for them, you know what I mean? Like, I would never, like, I'll shit on them because I don't care. Like, I'm not a fan. I would never. What am I hearing outside? I thought I had like a popping outside, excuse me. But I would never come and say, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna redo what you did like, and I'm gonna shit on it. And you can like my thing instead, though. Like, I think it's their right to tell you to go fuck yourself, right?
Yeah.
Even something like Jeff the Killer. Like, I'm going to redo Jeff the Killer, and it sucks, and the fans are cringy. Oh, by the way, fans who like the original, you don't have to worry. You can have my better version of it instead, and that's what the remake did a few times.
It's ulting, isn't it? It's just like, shut up. No, it's a fucking. I like this one.
And
Why are you trying to give me a new car? I like this car.
I was gonna do that I did that a few times when I was trying to write my Jeff the Killer story, and I look back at it like I kind of come off as a douchebag.
Yeah, it's pretty self-important to just take something that, at the end of the day, it really is just a phase kids are going through of really latching on to edgy, made-up characters and say, Well, here, how about you latch onto the smart version of that?
I'll
Latch
try
onto,
some of this, huh?
The epic version.
The self-importance of saying the smart version as well. Like this is also bad.
Well, I don't know. Banning in the creator of it, I think it's Banning K Kellum, I think his name is. Is that? I think that was his name.
Yeah.
He kind of comes off, and I had never talked to the guy personally. He kind of comes off as a self-righteous douche.
Yeah.
I saw his, like, he did there was a interview, not an interview, but he's like a discussion with Slime Beast. And
Oh, fuck yeah.
that was, I don't know, it's like listening to like, yeah, but you can't really criticize this, so like, it's kind of rude. Like, I think it's saying some weird shit like that. It's like, I can criticize whatever the fuck I want, because I can.
Yeah, no, you're not immune to criticism because your story is the better version. Shut up.
Like an insanely passive-aggressive douche. Where was it? Okay, well, first of all, I just established that I am not a fag who gets scared of anything. Also, the only thing that made me just a tiny bit scared was some parts of Penumbra and Condemned. That means it was pretty good. Everything else was boring. I can't. I was about to talk shit, but then I remember the stream where I tried to play Amnesia and I merely bitched out.
Aww.
And Damien's in the chat, like, making fun of me for being scared.
Is that still up?
Yeah, I still have it up. It was funny.
Oh, sick. I know what I'm doing later.
The problem is the audio kind of desyncs at one point. I don't know what happened.
Meme the coward. Meme him.
This game was different. Very different. Now...
Oh, here's a guessing game, guys. Do you think A, it will be very different from all other gaming pastas we've ever read, or
No.
B, it'll be the exact same?
What do you
Silence.
think?
I'm trying to tell my spooky story. God damn it.
C.
You aren't giving...
I don't know what C is.
You aren't giving any backstory to the game at all. As soon as you press play, it throws you right into the game. It cuts all the bullshit, cuts all the middlemen, gets right into it.
It doesn't even have a fucking title, apparently.
It doesn't even have a controller. There's no controller to play this game. It's called Life. Live with it.
You play with your hands and your feet.
It is depressing as fuck.
Play
Graphics are
with
really good.
the power
Nah, the
glove.
gameplay is not too great.
However, I was able to piece together what the story basically is through finally beating this little brick shitter. I'd have... What?
Keep going.
Apparently, you're a man.
I am manly.
Apparently, you're a man.
I am the man.
We're never given the name, but you can guess what it is if you pay attention to the title screen, which this game does not have, as I have specified.
Which I will not tell you what it looks like.
Look,
But
I as a narrator, you gotta fill in some fucking blanks in the imagination. I'm too busy slaying pussy over here, okay? I don't play video games.
If I told you the name, well, that would ruin the twist at the end. So, moving on.
For some reason, you've escaped whatever mental hospital you're hiding in. Now, the very horrid state of your mind has transformed the halls of the hospital into nothing but a pitch-black maze. So blackly, in fact, I'm starting to think I did not even turn on the console.
So black, it robbed my car.
The question was how...
I was wondering if that was an okay joke to make.
It's always okay on my channel. How black could this screen get? And the answer is none, which glows deathly blue. Your character is apparently some type of mad cannibal that you can barely control. How do you know he's a cannibal if he hasn't...
Keep going.
You can force him to turn cords. You can force him away from the DLC and just fucking fall out.
Well, that's not cannibalism, is it? If there's no other people and he's just eating, that's called an omnivore.
Not cannibalism. It's just something
He's a pig.
that's in front of him.
Like an actual pig.
While playing, wait, hold on. Is he actually describing? Oh no. While playing in a video game, you're being chased by 4 hideous, fucking scary ghost monsters. You can't hurt them.
You know how you know it's really scary? Because he said the no word.
Fucking scary ghosts, they're not just ghosts, and they're not monsters. They're ghost monsters. Like fucking He's friends with which your character grows more unstable state. You can literally eat the ghost monsters. Your character runs right up to them and diverge. This is not.
He didn't mention how when you're running around eating things, you make the waka 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 waka.
Yeah,
Man got the Pac-Man fever. Pac-Man
brother,
fever.
you kind of
me crazy.
You kind of spoiled the twist of your you kind of gave too much away when you said ghost monsters. Like, oh, okay.
Horrible ghost monsters.
Specifically,
4 of them, huh?
You should not have mentioned 4 and the fact that they were ghosts, like spectral creatures or something like that. I don't know.
This is so fucking stupid. Also, eating ghosts doesn't make you a cannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, like unless is Pac-Man a ghost? We don't know. We don't know his life. We don't know what
If anything,
living.
Pac-Man has a very sensible diet. He eats a lot of fruit.
And he eats ghosts.
And veggies.
That's just on him.
He eats ghosts, fruit, little white dots. It's a very varied diet.
This was.
It's a personal preference. Don't worry.
To be fair, we don't know what them dots are. I mean, they could be like filled with calories and carbs.
I thought.
Steroids.
Oh, good night, Mr. Shady. Yeah, this was. I thought this was fun.
That was dumb. I loved it though. I really wish creepypastas more creepypastas like old school creepypastas were like made like this now.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one was clearly more of a tongue-in-cheek joke. Like, oh,
Yeah.
the twist is Pac-Man. Okay,
Well, yeah, they ended it with Finn, so like they were trying to be serious.
Possible to where you would never get the joke until the end. I don't know if that would hurt it though.
There's at least one story that does that okay, but it's the Sims story. It's that one Sims story where it's like, but even that one does it pretty bad. So.
Like God, like for some reason, horrible things keep happening to my neighbors, and God seems to hate us.
Oh, yeah. And there's a glowing diamond over my head. Yeah, that's the one.
Gotta make it like you gotta make it to where like you only figure it out near the end or at the end.
That is at the end. I think that's the last line.
Oh, okay.
It's like, there's a diamond over my head now.
See,
but yeah, no, it's. I think it's called Paradise or something.
But I would walk 500 miles an hour.
Speaking of creepypastas, do you guys like creepypastas? Like unironically?
No.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
I love creepypasta.
Yeah, I do. Cause I was introduced to it like I was introduced to stories like the showers and I think
I liked certain ones, but as a whole, I can't say I like them because let's face it, most are shit.
Yeah, but I like.
I think that's to be fair. I think it's just law of averages. Like if everyone is able to post on one website their own like whatever comes to their head, naturally what comes out is going to be like mostly shit with some good stuff.
Oh, that's to be expected.
Mostly shit. For example,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it letting people just like post whatever stories, but I'm just saying like I can't say I generally unironically like creepypastas when most of them I just know are bad. I like riffing on bad creepypastas, but that's not the same thing.
Well, when
I don't know. I like the bad side of creepypasta as well. To be honest, it's like watching a movie it's like guilty pleasures almost. Like fucking creepypastas are like such a part of my life now that it's like, yeah, no, I like these. I like learning about old creepypastas, like old terrible creepypastas. Just like I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun learning about these stories.
I can't say that I dislike creepypasta in any like I don't like the people who are most like the prominent figures within the I guess the creepypasta community, quote unquote. I tend to dislike, although that's personal reasons, you
know. That's fairly reasonable. One of them is a pedophile, isn't he? Allegedly.
Excuse me, hebephile. I'm not dancing around it. I think I think he fucking did it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely guilty. Not gonna lie.
Like I tried to suspend, to give the benefit of the doubt for the most part. Like, let me hear out all parties and whatnot. The last thing I would ever want to do is like put that label on anyone if I can help it.
Yeah.
But
right.
I listen to your side and like you're so fucking full of shit.
Yeah. You listen to it and it's like you're just lying to me, aren't you?
I would never like look at how this person writes. I would never write like this. Like, okay, you're guilty. Like this.
That's a terrible point.
Like homeboy, I think you need to understand. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I'm not your friend. I'm not in your personal life.
Right?
I don't know what you do outside of YouTube. I don't like. It's people like you saw that debate that I don't know if anyone saw. It was like a debate between Slime Beast and one of Creepypasta's defenders, and it was the most embarrassing shit. Cause this dude is like saying like I know Creepypasta and you knew like do you know him personally? Like no, but I'm a fan for years and I know what he's like. Like so you're admitting that you have a parasocial relationship with him and you think that's a good thing. You're the exact kind of person that he wants around him because it makes it easier to get away with shit.
Yeah. No, if your best defenders are people...
Insert YouTuber here is such a good guy or such a good person. Like, even if it's someone I like, I'm like, no, their public persona is a good and nice person.
I try to subscribe to the mindset where don't say or do anything behind closed doors that you wouldn't do in person. Mm-hmm. Like... And then you won't have to worry about embarrassing yourself or like doing shit like that. And I don't know, like I don't get why people seem to be so gung ho in defending. Like there are people that are like I can understand the mindset where I don't want to believe this is true. That's a natural mindset to have. That's a natural reaction to have when some allegation comes up from someone you're a fan of. Mm-hmm. But let's say that they would never do that. Like, do you really know that? Do you know them?
No. Yeah, no, it's just kind of sad. I can't. It's just kind of not a fun time. There's just hearing. Because, like, at least fucking 3 Creepypasta fucking, like, creators have been outed as pedophiles now. What the fuck is happening?
The problem is it took too long to really find. Like, Creepypasta as a phenomenon on the internet has kind of fell into the doldrums to where people don't care. Like, someone like, you know, there's always going to be people talking about Logan, the Paul brothers, or fucking H3H3 and all them because they're always going to be relevant in the public guy, in the cultural zeitgeist. Not so much in Creepypasta, which has always, for the most part, been kind of niche.
Yeah. Like, the biggest members of this community have, like, maybe 1 million subscribers. And most of those subscribers are probably not even active anymore, so...
Like, repeat viewers and whatnot.
Yeah.
I would say, like, Mr. Creepypasta is not the most subscribed to. I think it's Nightmind.
No, it's definitely... Is it Nightmind? I've never even watched Nightmind, to be honest.
Does it even count? Does Corpse Husband even count anymore?
Nightmind
fuck him. Fuck Corpse Husband.
Nightmind is...
Why do you hate Corpse Husband?
Obnoxious fucking douchebag and his shitty fucking screamo music. Fuck him.
Oh, fuck.
This
Nightmind
disturbs me.
Nightmind has 500k, so no, he is not.
I would say he was
That's the one I'm
I think in terms of speaking from a creative standpoint, I always have more respect for him than a fair amount of other horror pasta YouTubers. Although speaking as a person, and again outside looking in, and I think Mr. Slime Beast did a decent job explaining his grievances with Nightmind and the way that he was behaving between the two of them. Like, I don't like this person. I don't like someone who, like, I don't like people who don't understand that you're not entitled to forgiveness. And who get angry when you choose not to forgive them.
You know what's the saddest thing in the world?
What?
Going on to Mr. Creepypasta, is a YouTube channel. Someone who has 1.6 million subs and seeing that all of his videos have like 14k views at most.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that little tidbit makes me moist.
That's just sad.
Let's be like, I used to be he got like I will give credit where credit is due. Mr. Creepypasta did kind of help kickstart my interest in Creepypasta.
Yeah. No, he's definitely one of the guys that were like.
But was he ever that good? And I'm not saying that because I don't like people who like retroactively go back and like I've decided that I never liked this person. You know what I mean? I don't want to fall into that trap.
No, he's never really been too good at it, has he? I always liked him more than fucking Creeps McPasta, but I don't know. It's more
Well,
like
here's
a
the thing.
Coke versus fucking Pepsi thing, where it's just like I just like this one more for no apparent reason.
See, I liked
Well, now I have a
Creepypasta
reason.
back in the day because at least I thought his voice was notable. Even back then, when I was into the pit trap of liking creepypasta readers, I
And
didn't
then
think there was
Jacob came
anything
along,
interesting
and
about
then
Mr. Creepypasta's voice.
Jacob came along and bullied you into not liking him anymore.
Exactly. I was indirectly bullied.
And Rudolph was a crack baby. It's so easy to do the voice.
Because here was my thing. It's like, oh, it's not Creepypasta's fault that the stories he's reading are shit. And then I'm like,
No.
but then it was like, and that was me at first when I first like got into bad creepypasta, and then I'm just like, you know what? Why does he keep just picking all these shit stories then?
Okay,
Because-
And I'm like, and then as I
Literally, one
kept
of the
watching
stories-
more and more, I'm like, yeah, this is stupid.
I heard Sonic. Yeah, he read Sonic.exe, and even as someone who had, like, my frame of reference as to what made a good creepypasta was like very to the point where I enjoyed stories like Squidward Suicide back then.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this like, why are you reading this story? Sounds awful.
Fucking honestly, I didn't get into creepypastas until I started watching Bad Creepypasta. I always knew about creepypasta, but fucking Michael Lohr, the Michael Lohr channel and Bad Creepypasta as a show was like what actually got me into it. I was like, oh, this is terrible. I love this.
I don't remember what I think because I don't remember what video it was where Jacob's saying like, hey, if you want to be a guest on the show, like. And I put my name out there, and then randomly I get a call on Discord. Like, if someone says, "Hey, you want to talk for a little bit?" Like, oh shit, sure.
Want to discuss terrible stories on the internet? Yes.
That was, God, that was so long ago. It feels
That was like 8 years ago.
It feels weird that I'm like someone who has been like good friends with for that long. It started because of like a weird, like an invitation to a Skype call.
Yeah, no.
Also, real quick, because Bioman, you're a fight fan. Deontay Wilder got murked again. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, no, I heard. Don't worry. My fucking. Apparently, he didn't do as bad that time.
He did
though.
better. No, he did, but he got 2 knockdowns in round 4. He actually did look okay.
I saw a clip of him getting the second knockdown, and holy shit, that fucking punch would kill someone. If he wasn't Tyson Fury, no one else would be alive if they got hit by that punch.
I like how I told my sister. I told my sister, I was like, yeah, Tyson Fury won. Oh, yeah, all hell the Gypsy King. Like, hold on, Gypsy's a slur. He's like, or are you gonna go tell him that there's a problem?
You're gonna go tell the Gypsy King that it's a slur?
You're gonna go tell the 6'9", like
270
orangutan man?
My fucking brother last night, my brother and sister are visiting, and I had to go to bed early last night because my fucking head was killing me. So I didn't watch the fight, but he told me before I went to bed, he was like, hey, I'll wake you up when Wilder knocks out Fury. And I was like, okay.
Nah.
I slept like a baby that night.
I don't even...
Fuck Deontay Wilder.
I don't think people just... Because I was on the club of... I should talk his footwork and his inability to actually fight on the inside and whatnot. But I am also of the camp like until you force him to be in a position where he can't use like his distance and like gauge rage to load up power in his punches, don't talk to me.
Yeah, no, fucking. So I saw someone talking shit. There was another fighter. I forget what his name was, but someone was like, haha, night, Wilder. And it's like, Wilder would fucking murder you. Like, unless you are Tyson Fury, don't talk shit about fucking Deontay Wilder, because he would kill you. He would literally fucking one-shot you. He's like the size of John Jones, but he hits like fucking Ngannou. It's fucking monster.
Although, let's be clear, I'm like, oh, well, he has the heaviest hands I've ever seen in boxing. Ernie Shavers is still alive.
Oh, yeah? I don't know. I haven't seen any Ernie Shavers.
Ernie Shavers is... Let me put it to you like this. George Foreman, George Foreman fought Ron Lyle. who was one of the hardest punchers and other hardest boxers in history, right? Ron Lyle beat Ernie Shavers, but when talking about Ernie Shavers, he said, like, I never fought Ernie Shavers, and thank God. And apparently, he refused to fight Ernie because he hit so fucking hard. Like, I've never heard people describe him getting hit by him. When Ernie Shavers hits you, the part of the body you got hit, you don't register the pain right away because he hit you that hard. That part of your body goes numb.
There's a fucking wonderful quote I've seen about fucking Mike Tyson punching people. Mm-hmm. Like, one of the guys said Mike Tyson boxed. I think he described getting hit by Mike Tyson like getting hit by a fucking log.
No, someone said, like, I think it was Evander Holyfield said that, because he was comparing Tyson to Foreman, and he said getting hit by Mike Tyson's like getting hit by a Ferrari going at 60 an hour. Getting hit by Foreman is like getting hit by a fucking dump truck going at 30 an hour.
Fucking awesome, dog. Fucking love. Oh god.
Prime George Foreman could murder the fuck out of Wilder. Let's be fair. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
How do we get from talking about Creepypasta to here?
Wait, hold on. What? I'm kind of. Why aren't you guys talking about boxing with us? What's going on?
I don't know anything about boxing.
Yeah, you do.
Nerd. Get fucking wrecked, nerd. Come on.
I know that Mike Tyson recently just challenged one of the Paul brothers to a boxing match, which I really hope happens.
That'll be embarrassing.
Will?
Mike Tyson would literally murder both of them at the same time.
Yeah, like, he literally, like, said in an interview or, like, made a video or something saying that he would totally fight one of them.
Yeah, no, he said that he'd fight one of them. But I don't think Logan Paul or fucking Jake Paul are gonna be like, yeah, I'll fight Mike Tyson.
The fact that I don't know. The fact that Jake Paul's willing to take a fight for fucking, I'll fight Canelo. Okay, whatever, sure.
You mean you'll die against Canelo?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Most of the ones he's fought with or have agreed to, like, take a dive for the sake of a big fat paycheck with Tyson.
Nah.
I don't know.
Mayweather. Okay, here's the thing. Mayweather doesn't give a fuck. That's the thing with Mayweather. Mayweather did. He kept the fight standing because, like, I want to make. I think that Mayweather could have. We know for a fact he could have ended the fight anytime he wanted, right? That's how most of his fights go.
Logan?
Yeah. But I honestly believe that it wasn't a matter of taking it to the distance. I think his mindset is, I want to show that I can be as, like, comfortable as possible with this dude, because I don't want to scare off any other dumb YouTubers for giving me a big fat paycheck. I don't want to.
Yeah, no. Fucking Mayweather could have fucking killed Logan at any time.
Tyrone Woodley should be fucking ashamed of himself.
Tommy Fury?
No, Tyrone Woodley. He should be fucking ashamed of himself. And I don't mean, like, okay, let me be clear. It's not that he lost a boxing match. It's a fact, like, people. It's a fact that he carried over the problems that he had in the later stages of his career, in his MMA career, to boxing, where there was not as much to lose.
What's really sad about about Tyron Woodley losing to Jake Paul is that he proved during the fight that he could end it at any moment.
Because
literally any time.
Like, I don't know.
He could murder Jake at any second.
I don't know if you guys saw. I know you probably didn't see it, if only out of principle. Tyrone Woodley was I think it was a welterweight or middleweight champion.
Yeah, he's a welterweight.
He was a welterweight heavyweight champion. He was mostly known as a wrestler, and then he went on to being he's
got a fucking hand though.
One of the fucking scariest men in his weight division, right? Like, he would knock you the fuck out.
He fucking flatlined Darren Till. Mm-hmm. No one, never let anyone forget. But Tyron was flatlined Darren Till.
At some point, I think after it was a rib injury, wasn't it? That sidelined him for what's his name? Kobe Covington fucked him up and broke his rib. And you're thinking okay, I can. All right, he froze up on the world title stage. Understandable. Now, he could go in, fuck up Jake Paul, get the praise of the audience that fucking Ben Askren couldn't get, and then water off into the sunset.
God damn it, Ben.
And all he did... Ben Askren had no fucking chance. Are you kidding me?
No, has there ever been a greater fall from grace than who had a bigger fall from grace, Tyron Woodley or Ben Askren?
Ben Askren.
Never heard of any, so I'll just say Ben Askren.
I mean, fair enough. Both of them were fucking.
The problem is Ben Askren, and I'm saying this as someone who knows for a fact Ben Askren would choke the fuck out of me if he could. I don't think he was ever that good.
Would you like to be choked by him?
I mean, he's crushed watermelons. That's hot.
Oh yeah,
so.
he literally can crush watermelons with his biceps.
Fucking incredible.
He was a wrestler, like a Olympic level wrestler.
He was an Olympic wrestler, yeah.
And he just couldn't have that translate into, like, he fought people who weren't used to that.
That's the problem.
It's not that he had no strength. I think it was that he couldn't translate that strength into his striking. Like
that's what I meant.
It's like
that's what I said. He had no striking at all.
Like Kamaru Usman, like I'll never forgive Jorge Masvidal for underestimating his punching power. Because Jorge Masvidal.
Flatline, dog.
He did what Jorge did to, what was it, Darren Till? Like, lowering his hand with one hand and then fucking knocking him out with the other. He did the exact same thing. It's like, have you forgotten how fucking strong this dude is? You're not fighting Ben Askren. He knows how to throw a punch.
What's incredible about Ben Askren is the fucking record Ben Askren made outside the UFC is actually pretty fucking cool. It's actually pretty great.
It's impressive. Like, the problem, I don't know.
He fucking smashed Shinya Aoki. He fucking crushed him. He fucking smashed Douglas Lima. He smashed every other motherfucker he fought.
What do you think of MVP finally getting ranked?
Oh fuck! He's the top contender now, isn't he? He beat Douglas.
I think wasn't the split decision like controversial?
Yeah, no, it was terribly controversial. But he did knock him down like fucking 3 times. So,
I think he needs to work on his ground game as well.
Oh yeah, no. I think because he beat Daly on the ground.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about. I'm just imagining Kenzie just like, I'm still here. Yeah.
Oh, hey
guys. Talking
I'm totally not on Pinterest.
What's your?
Are you guys enjoying me and Vince nerding out about MMA for 20 minutes?
Who's your favorite MMA fighter, Kenzie?
Kenzie doesn't know what MMA is.
John Cena.
Huh?
More like
I swear to
John
God.
Cena. What that is?
I swear to God, I thought she said. I swear to God, I thought she said Lyoto Machida. Like, oh fuck.
Oh shit!
Yeah, him. Okay, what Vince said.
Well,
that's the correct answer.
What's your favorite Lyoto Machida match, huh?
My favorite was
what Vince said.
Speaking of which, I finally found. I got curious to stay on topic and to make sure that no one gets lost. Guess what I did a Google search for, guys? Well, not a Google search. I did a Google search. Well, not a Google. It's a high-tech Google machine. I know you guys never heard of it, right? It's
something called a computer.
The future is
Look
now.
at this.
What is it?
It is a creepypasta called The Boxer.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Is it bad?
Time is now.
I don't know. I just found it like. Let me see this boxing creepypasta. So we can have the best of both worlds. Let's not alienate the core female demographic, and the core female demographic is literally one person, Kenzie.
What is the symbol?
I tried to find a fucking UFC creepypasta, but they don't exist.
Ooh,
oh come on!
There is a UFC creepypasta. It's like, ooh, Dana White is stuffing my pay. Poor fighter pay.
There has to be. It's like
John Jones is in your bathroom.
John Jones is doing drugs before a fight.
John Jones beat his wife and got away with it.
Oh, he got arrested again.
Fucking stop getting arrested, you dumbass.
I think he was born in the wrong era of MMA. Like, if he was born
if he was in fucking like 2000, I mean, even then, if he started fighting in 2002, and he was still fighting now, it'd be 2011. People would still know. They would be aware that he was a fucking asshole.
Okay, Kenzie.
Vince.
And Raptor. I'll explain this. Let me just chew this gummy bear real quick in the microphone like an asshole.
What flavor?
Lime.
Nice.
Gummy.
John Jones is a MMA fighter, and the general consensus for people with fans of MMA is that he is the greatest fighter that has ever lived in MMA. This is not something that we like. It's not like personal opinion. Like a lot of people in our circle unanimously agree that in terms of raw skill and his intuition and his abilities, he's the best. Period.
I think skill wise could be fucking.
I love Khabib, but I think that might be optimism bias, like not recency bias talking.
I don't know. He was a fucking monster.
But,
I think George St. Pierre is the greatest of all time.
Well, I do too, but it's okay. John Jones
is the most
he would get in like imagine this guy who, like, okay, he's like, he's a really good wrestler. Like he was in high school wrestling, right? And he finds out about MMA from watching YouTube, and I'm gonna go try this. And then he goes into a gym, beats the fuck out of everyone who's been doing this shit for years. And then goes out like, I can't wait to have my first MMA match, guys. Beats the fuck out of the people who've been training longer than he has. And then he
gets into the UFC. And then beats the fuck out of everyone there.
And not
for
just
14 years.
To be specific, it's not that he beats them. Like, he beats them specifically at their own game every time. Like, this one guy is like, man, I can outstrike. I'm the best striker in UFC. And he's like, okay, I want to try that. And then he outstrikes them. Like, I'm the best wrestler in UFC. Like, I'll out-wrestle you then.
John Jones, to put it in perspective, John Jones is a collegiate wrestler. He wrestled in college, basically. Daniel Cormier was a Olympic wrestler and basically the best wrestler on the planet for multiple years. Mm-hmm. Like the general consensus, best wrestler on the planet. I think he has 2 gold medals, right? No, I think he won bronze, and he was unable to compete in the next Olympics. But everywhere else, he fucking smashed people, basically. John
Jones, like, fucking wrecked him despite just being a high school level wrestler.
No, college level. But just smashed him. He fucking crushed Daniel Cormier. It wasn't even close.
Out-wrestled the Olympic level wrestler because he wanted. And that was not his game plan. He just wanted to outdo the guy he was most known for. And
it's fucking. He's also now, after we've given John Jones all that praise, he's also the biggest idiot in human history.
He's also one of the biggest scumbags in the history of the sport.
Yes, he's done cocaine for matches multiple times. He was stripped of his belt the first time for a hit and run accident where he
ran into a pregnant mother and ran off
with money.
With a money, yeah. And this is all pretty recent too.
Then he got back into the sport. He won an interim belt, and he was going to fight Daniel Cormier. He was going to fight Daniel Cormier a second time for the undisputed belt. But then he popped for steroids, so he was suspended again. And then he came back a little after serving suspension, and he beat Daniel Cormier. And he talked about how Daniel Cormier was great and that he loved him and stuff like that. It was nice. It was a nice little cap off to the rivalry. And then he popped for steroids again. Then he
beat the absolute shit out of his wife.
Oh yeah, he did that very recently. I wasn't there yet, but He then came back. He won the belt again. They had to move an entire event because he popped for steroids a third time, but it was so little of a percentage that they said, don't worry about it, it's fine. Then he continued to beat people up. He got a very close decisions with 2 guys. Most people thought the judges robbed one of them, and they did. Dominic Reyes was fucking champ. Shut up. Then fucking And then most recently, he beat his wife, traumatized his kids, and assaulted a police car. So John Jones is a lot of everything.
On one hand, he's someone that we want to be fans of, but we can't.
John Jones.
No, I'm talking about his abilities.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like, he's one of those guys where you fall in love with his way of fighting. And then, like, oh, he does that outside the cage to people close to him, too. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely likes spinning elbowed his wife.
So that's why we hate John Jones.
John Jones is the worst.
That long-winded tirade where we talked about MMA again.
To explain 10 minute talk about John Jones.
Yeah. So, this is the boxer.
This is the boxer, yeah. Let's talk about the boxer.
Who wrote this?
You guys want to read this?
Why do people not credit themselves? Come on.
Because they're cowards.
Because they want to duck responsibility.
Okay, Kenzie, since you you and Raptor can read this to get collectively. Honestly, we've been
because you're such big boxing fans. Why don't you read it?
Yes, because we will know exactly what they are talking about.
You got this. Don't worry. Something tells me these people don't know what they're talking about either.
Raptor, you can take dialogue if you want.
Okay.
Can we, real quick, let's pour one out to my boy Norm Macdonald.
Fuck. I gotta go real quick.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald, rest in peace.
That there aren't many celebrity deaths that make me cry. It actually did make me cry.
Aww.
Especially when you found out that he was hiding the fact that he had cancer for years. Because he didn't want people to look at him a certain way.
Yeah, that's been a thing with a lot of celebrity deaths lately.
I don't know, something about, he had a mindset where it's he didn't want to advertise that shit. And, I don't know, it's I think a lot of us kind of, with the advent of, a more secular mindset when it comes to people, I think the fear of death has become to such a degree where people just want to be remembered if there's no afterlife, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what
Norm... I come back, though. I was gone for 2 minutes.
We're talking about Norm Macdonald. And the fact that Norm, I don't know, it's the fact that... I don't know how to really put it. It's the fact that he didn't care if people, really remembered him. He just wanted to do his thing.
Rest in peace to a real one.
The last true comedian on earth, in my opinion. He understood funny is funny. Period. So, go on, Raptor. 1, 2. Come on.
Read this story though.
My deep soliloquy about the mortality.
I'll be you doing a very bad Sylvester Stallone impression while reading the narration.
Please, for the love of God, no.
Dude, yes, please do.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, punch!
It's hard being a newcomer in the boxing world. Getting beaten up by other boxers isn't easy. Getting scolded by your coach whenever you lose a match is a hard pill to swallow. Hardest thing, though, constantly letting a family down to the point that they won't even acknowledge you or tune in into your matches. After losing many matches, it does things to your brain.
I think that's just concussions talking, brother. That's what it does to your brain.
Yeah, no, you might want to see a doctor. I think you're developing
it's all fun and games until... I told you shouldn't have fought Ernie Shavers 3 times in a row. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I totally get that.
Your brain is leaking out of your ear now.
What did we tell you about fighting Tyson Dog? Easy. And then fighting Foreman? Why?
And now you're missing part of your ear.
Okay, continue.
Well, I'm fine. I can do one more match, and it turns out I was fucking fighting Deontay Wilder next. It was my last match. Yeah, it will be your last match.
Have you ever seen the fucking meme of the guy that had 2 MMA matches, and one of them was against Rampage Jackson, and the other was against Chuck Liddell?
No.
Fucking rip.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna call it the twist right now. He's already dead, and he's a ghost.
Probably.
And he doesn't know he's
ghost
dead.
Boxer.
Ghost.
I mean,
ghost boxer.
Just assume that is the twist. I'm pretty sure he'll probably realize that he's a ghost pretty quickly when his punches go through his opponent.
Ghostbusters sounds
water.
like a fucking level in Punch Out.
I'd watch a cartoon series of Ghostboxer. He just goes around just knocking the shit out of people, don't know what happens.
That sounds badass.
Ninja Turtle. I was gonna say it kind of sounds like a bad like Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. It's a little weird funky.
It's the fucking Snagglepuss or whatever the fuck his name.
No, Funk Ghost. The Funky Phantom. Funky Phantom, that was his name.
The Funky Phantom's about to beat the shit out of you.
God, Hannah.
Does anyone here know anything about animation? We're going into business, boys.
Okay, let's be frank. Hanna-Barbera for the most part was shit.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I hate Hanna. Like I unironically love Scooby-Doo and hate everything else they've done.
Oh come on, Captain Caveman.
I just like Tom and Jerry, some like Scooby-Doo shows.
I hate Filmation.
Two Stupid Dogs. That's it. The rest is shit.
You didn't like the Flintstones? Wasn't Flintstones Hanna-Barbera?
Oh yeah, Flintstones, right. The Jetsons sucked.
Okay. Yeah, Jetsons sucked. Jetsons was just Flintstones but less funny.
Hey Fred, I got some ketamine. Barney, you know I'm supposed to be clean, Barney. Who cares, Fred?
I mean, that's half a joke because that's something I probably
literally Hanna-Barbera's business model is, hey, is this series successful? Let's make 5
7
more.
of it. Make 7.
We can't forget about the cartoons, the fucking animal sidekick. Every show needs the animal sidekick. Like the Godzilla show. We totally needed a Katsuki.
Fucking talking shark.
Excuse me, what about that one with the living doom buggy? That wasn't an animal.
What about the one where
God, that was
literally
stupid.
a fucking cat that talks and has like a fucking fedora on? Snagglepuss.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about Top Cat. I like Top Cat. Like that show.
I don't even remember.
Top Cat is like insanely popular in Mexico, apparently.
Really? That's wild.
What was the one show that was literally just one of the Three Stooges, but he was a shark?
Jabberjaws.
Jabberjaws.
Yes.
There's a new show. What's it called? It was like Yellowstone is what it's called. It's like some
Oh
weird...
yeah. I heard it's actually alright.
I don't know why. Like they changed the genre on some of the characters. It's kind of weird. Like Jabberjaw for some reason is a girl now.
Because who fucking cares? It's Jabberjaw. Who
Okay,
fucking cares about Jabberjaw?
You guys keep talking about Hanna-Barbera. I need to go and get soup.
Okay.
Enjoy your soup.
After
They
The only thing I
changed
remember with Jabberjaws is that song that aired during like
You wanna
on
look
Cartoon Network and Boomerang once.
I'm sorry. What was that? Who was talking?
I'll let fucking Raptor go first.
The most I remember about freaking Jabberjaws is that freaking song that we used to air on Cartoon Network and Boomerang.
Yeah, Boomerang. Fucking
What
love
the-
Yeah,
Boomerang.
I miss Boomerang.
I was gonna say, fucking, they changed the gender of Jabberjaw for the same reason they changed the character of the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. Because who fucking cares? It's fucking Jeff. No one cares about these characters. Why not?
Hey, my friends don't get no disrespect.
I'm trying to think
What
of
the
like,
Scooby-Doo that
I'm trying to
we
think of
neglected.
yeah, cool. I'm trying to think of other like Hanna-Barbera cartoons that I didn't hate as much.
There's
The Godzilla.
Godzilla was
Yeah, that's a
fucking
Hanna-Barbera
terrible.
cartoon.
I hated
Godzilla.
I hated Godzilla. I'm
You mean-
sorry.
You mean you don't like the important and necessary character that was Godzuki?
Yes.
I
Hey
hated him so
Godzuki,
much.
we're gonna go into this dangerous volcano. Don't do anything mildly comical that would put our lives in jeopardy.
Don't
And
do
Godzuki
anything
would be like,
wacky and unfair.
Like, he was there because they like them constantly pushing this button to summon Godzilla will kind of get old. Let's have another thing to kind of change it up. The little shitty shit thing is gonna call Godzilla every now and again.
It's bad vanilla, but even worse.
God, I hated that show. Even as a kid who had no standards, I hated that show. 'Cause Godzilla.
You know why you hated that show? Because you knew that fucking Godzilla the series was a thing, and you loved that show. Well, that was me at least, because fucking Godzilla the series, that shit's fucking awesome.
You're talking about the
It
one
was
that came.
lit.
You're talking about
The American.
yeah, where it actually
The
like
American.
made a good
one that
show
lit?
based on
Yeah.
the shitty movie.
Yes.
I have returned with soup.
You have
Godzilla the
soup.
What kind of
animated
soup?
series is fucking awesome. Let's get
Potato
Not
leek
original
soup.
series with Gatsuki. But let me tell you, that episode where Gatsuki did something very comical when he was supposed to do like a comical thing was super funny. Let me tell you, it got a big belly laugh from me.
I'm going to kill someone.
Okay, there was that. There was there's gotta be more Hanna, cause I did grow up watching Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, fucking Yogi Bear. Was Yogi Bear a
Ooh.
show? Did they
Let's
have
invest
Yeah.
in
Yogi
NFTs.
Bear?
There was
Or
like
was
a
it just
few
a
different
thing?
Yogi Bear shows.
What? How the fuck were there 2 different Yogi Bear shows?
Let me
Not possible.
let me just say,
Because he's
Yo-Yo
smarter
Pete.
than the average bear. He needs to have more than one show.
There's no goddamn way. I don't remember a single fucking thing about the fucking Yogi Bear show besides that it existed at some point.
What did you say? What were you saying, rapper?
Yogi.
Shut up.
I hate fuck you and fuck the person who spawned you.
That's right, that was a thing.
That vile name. I hated the 90s. Fuck the 90s. God
Oh,
damn it.
speaking
Yo,
of
Yogi,
90s.
yo. He is more than the average
So
bear.
cool,
yo.
yo.
Yogi, yo.
I'll stab you.
Yogi's having a ball.
Speaking of 90s and ruining animation, do you guys remember that show where it's the Looney Tunes but they're the Justice League?
What?
Oh, that fucking show.
No,
Oh,
Lunatic
Yeah, you
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
What the fuck was
It-
that?
In the year 2000, the Looney Tunes became the epic superheroes after
I would
after
argue.
asteroid shit.
I would argue that I guess season 2, because they had 3 seasons, which is
And what? How?
which is 2 seasons too many.
Not two
How the
seasons.
fuck Did it have 3 seasons?
2 seasons.
I think it got better a little bit, like later near the end, if only because I think they kind of realized that people watch the Looney Tunes for comedy, and so they tried to put
not because they thought Bugs Bunny was badass.
they put a noticeable amount of slapstick more into the later episodes, and it's okay.
But it wasn't Bugs Bunny. It was like his descendant because
Yeah.
it's in the future.
Ooh.
I would recommend anyone in the future watching this or watching this currently. There's a blog I used to follow almost religiously when I was in high school, and I don't know if he still does it now. It's kind of, I wouldn't say obscure. Like, I was the only one that was, me and probably a handful of other people reading it. It was called Spectrum of Madness. It's on blogspot.com, and he did like a episode, like a complete run through and review of every single episode of Lunatics Unleashed and everything wrong with each one, and it's worse than I remember it being.
It's so dumb. Why?
I'll give you credit for even remembering it
I didn't remember the name, to be honest.
because I
I just
remember.
remembered edgy Justice League fucking Bugs Bunny.
Daffy Duck.
I don't know why I can remember the title, but I can't remember, and I do remember like just the general premise that it's just the Looney Tunes but superheroes.
See, I'm just
I couldn't tell you a thing about that takes place in any episode.
I can't either.
I'm just imagining fucking like the trailer coming up, and it's like a
It's
fucking villain.
funny.
No, a villain's like hobbled over with a broken leg. Bugs Bunny wouldn't do something like that, and like the main character like, fuck Bugs Bunny, stop.
The fucking...
The trailer's online. I remember the trailer distinctly, and it was even more cringe than the show itself.
What, Titans?
No,
Or
not
fuck-
the. It's called Lunatics Unleashed. Yeah, it was a trailer for it, and it's like
so cringe.
it's so horrible. It's like edgy Bugs Bunny's like, "What's up, dog? And you're supposed to take a down."
Oh my god, no.
What's up, cock?
Cock.
What's up, Dick? Yeah, I said a swear.
Fucking Bugs Bunny killing people as like a gritty superhero is the funniest.
Okay, yeah, I like you have to specify because Looney Tunes, they kill people constantly.
Yeah, no, they murder people all the time.
Remember when Bugs
But-
Bunny was doing his piano recital and someone kept coughing and he shot him dead?
shot
He shot him dead and you hear his body drop to the ground. That's a classic Looney Tunes spoof. The people think I'm joking when I say that, but it's the
No,
real.
it's
I
not
love
a
it.
joke. You shot him dead.
No, it's a thing.
God,
Everyone remembers it as well.
God, I love how cartoons just didn't care.
Fucking, oh my god, I love that fucking cartoon. Fucking, I love this stream is fun. I like this stream. It's just us talking about random shit.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
I
love
think
when
that's
boomers ever come with the argument, oh, it's these violent video games that are making kids the way they are. They say, bitch, you grew up with Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. Some of the most violent cartoons to exist.
Bugs Bunny literally shot someone for coughing. Shut up.
Well, in the COVID era,
I'll
that'll be
teach you to
acceptable.
cough, dick.
And like, you came here and you didn't wear your mask.
I wish Bugs Bunny would, like...
Yeah, hold
Bugs
on.
Bunny's so pro-mask and shoots people dead.
Hold on, Doc. It says 6 feet apart. That's 5 feet and 11 inches.
Are you fully vaccinated? Bang!
I got 2 shots. We said 3.
Did you get your Johnson & Johnson?
Well,
No, Doc.
I couldn't get it. It was the business hours were...
You should make it work.
Okay, where were we? Boxing.
Boxer. Oh, yeah. This
Kenzie, continue.
After losing so many matches, it does things to your brain. Kind of breaks you down, really. But I was determined.
I mean, physically, yes, it does. But, you know, moving on.
I would be a great boxer. The best boxer. A champion boxer.
It don't sound like you're doing a Donald Trump.
Is this reading Sylvester
like,
Stallone or is this Trump?
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's like, I'm just imagining you doing the hands like, we're going to be the best boxer. The best boxing.
It'll be so good. It'll be the best boxer ever. So
I honestly probably would have if I wasn't holding a bowl of soup.
It kind of
Transvestis.
It kind of does. It kind of does fit because Trump's a huge like boxing guy.
Didn't you hear that he said he would beat Joe Biden in the boxing match?
Oh yeah, and then he tried that.
He would. I'm not.
That's not a positive for Trump. That's a negative towards Biden. Like, I don't think Biden could win in a fist fight in his like the way he is right now.
I mean,
they're both
like
old as fuck. You honestly think either of them would get any far in the ring?
I think they both would like kill, like end up having a heart attack. I'm just saying which one has a slightly better chance.
Which one has a heart attack?
Here's my prediction. Trump does a slight tap to Biden, causes his always bones to break, and Trump gets so happy he has a heart attack and dies along with Biden.
Trump.
And it's a tie.
Like,
I mean, Trump is like what, 6'4", fucking like 100, 200 pounds.
I would like.
Biden's like 5'9", 180.
To be clear to anyone who might be watching it, this isn't a political talk. It's logistics.
Yeah,
we're talking. Like
this is logic. We're talking.
Like I would love to see. I would have loved to see like. Idi Amin could fucking slaughter anyone in a fist fight, and he was a horrible, evil bastard. You know, Idi Amin.
Idi Amin.
The dictator.
Which one? There's a lot, though.
The one that used to like cannibalize people and feed his wives to crocodiles.
Oh yeah, that guy.
You knew what I meant immediately. But he was actually like a boxing champion in his country, and like a legit one. Like he would like put people in the hospital for hitting them so hard. And I would love to see like if we could arrange, if heaven and hell exists, can we like have some kind of like, okay, Idi Amin is excused for hell for this amount of times it'll take to train for his match against Teddy Roosevelt, who is in heaven.
You know what? Dream match is between Lincoln and Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy will fuck him up. I'm sorry.
No, fucking. I mean, MMA match. Fucking.
Lincoln was a wrestler.
Yeah,
Lincoln was a fucking damn good wrestler too. He was like 301.
You know what I mean? I think he's a very polarizing. Like I love reading about Lincoln, but it's kind of hard. Like you gotta some. Like
you're bigging him up a bit.
Yeah,
he kind of does have golf hour. I'm looking it up. He does.
Oh, I bet like the kind of childhood he probably had. Like goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay. Boxing. Sweat trickled down the forehead.
This thing that we're reading.
Sweat trickled ahead of me today. My final match, to be precise.
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining like Trump like shadow boxing with his tiny hands.
I wasn't expecting him to be.
I kind of like, you never know. Maybe it was like, oh, see, it's a twist. This is the girls of
like
the boxer.
Yeah. fun this guy from like the 50s.
And by God, he was beautiful.
He was the sexiest man I've ever seen.
I tried to punch him, but I got lost in his eyes.
God damn, I could get lost in that wavy brown hair of his.
I just want to rub it with my boxing gloved hand.
By fast, I mean he would throw a punch and you wouldn't even realize what happened to you until you got up off the floor disorientated and horny.
I thought you were about to say disintegrated.
Yeah, you fucking evaporated.
Are you sure you were boxing mini Thanos?
You're boxing Deontay Wilder.
Mr. Balboa, I don't feel so good.
Adrian! Adrian! Rocky! I don't feel so good!
Rocky, you probably should have fought that dude.
Alright, Raptor.
I can take him and beat him. I would do everything I can to make it to the top. Everything.
Would you suck dick to get to the top, mister?
I proclaim to my reflection. I put on my yellow and black boxing gloves and laced on my jet black boxing shoes. Edward entered the locker room while I was gearing up. He stopped and chuckled.
Can I read the dialogue for the rival character, apparently?
Yeah. He walked straight up to me and shoved me up against the lockers. He started caressing my junk.
Listen here, rookie. There's no way you can beat me. I only accepted your challenge to make a drooling fool out of you. Yeah, I'm gonna break you down and make you quit being a boxer because sissies don't belong here. They belong in my dressing room.
Is this Randy from fucking Jeff the Killer?
Same energy.
You're
Randy the
fucking dead, kid.
Randy became a boxer after this Jeff the Killer experience.
He then pulled a gun out of nowhere.
He pulled a gun out during the boxing.
Probably turned into Sonny Liston then, from pulling out a gun and scaring the shit out of Ali.
Ah, that was the funniest shit in the world.
Like, people, I saw people like, oh, what a coward Ali is from running from a man with a gun.
Running from a man with a gun who is
a man who works for the mob with a gun.
It's almost as if he wasn't impervious to bullets.
It's funny, he's like, I got in his head, like, you frightened him with a gun. Like, he's still, like, in the ring, you know you're not allowed to bring a gun. He knows that. He's
not literally invincible.
Is he supposed to do? Punch the bullets?
He's gonna slip and rip the fucking gun.
Sonny Liston is actually one of my favorite boxers, but I don't know. His status as a tragic figure is somewhat self-inflicted.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, people didn't give him a chance after he won.
True.
Kind of like receded back into it.
You won't give me a chance to not be a thug. I'll just be a thug from now on.
All right, fuck it. I'll be the bad guy. Anyway, okay, where were we? He laughed.
Ha ha.
He laughed and strolled out of the locker room with such relaxation because he didn't view me as a threat.
I'm gonna poke my head out so I can laugh at you. Smell you later, dork.
This is how people talk in the 1920s, by the way.
He's now Kevin from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Damn.
His words cut into my brain and were all I thought of from now until the match was over.
No, I think his knuckle cut into your brain.
His forearm.
Oh god, he took the fucking padding out of his gloves. He can't breathe anymore.
I am a foot. I am a foot.
You're a
his walkout costume was too heavy.
Oh god.
I shadow boxed a few more times to warm up, then left the locker room waiting for the locker room area to make my grand entrance. As I made my way to the ring and made my pre-match preparations, the show lights came on and the bell finally rang. There I was at my corner, squaring up to Edward, gloves held high, ready to block any of his lightning fast strikes.
Knees weak,
What is
arms
this?
heavy.
What makes this a creepypasta?
Don't worry, I'm guessing he'll fucking get disfigured and then start murdering people with his punches.
Wasn't that like that was a plot to one of the that was a backstory of one of the characters in fucking Twisted Metal?
I don't fucking know. I didn't play Twisted Metal.
They're fun. I don't know. They're an acquired taste. I'd say that.
There's Big Joker who stabbed.
Needles Kane, yes.
Yeah.
He quickly jetted towards me and even giving me a chance to react. He struck a blow to the left side of my ribs. The shot crippled me as soon as I heard my own bones crack inside of me.
Fucking hell, dude. He didn't have
dead?
Shattered his ribs immediately. Fuck, okay.
Your bones should be in your lungs right now.
I've never heard of that happening at the start of a match. Like, this is...
Oh, fucking,
Andrew Galata, like, fighting Tyson?
No, fucking... Small Arab guy that was really good at boxing.
Oh, Amir Khan?
No, Prince Nassim.
Nassim, oh, fuck. What, did he injure someone that quick?
Yeah, it was kind of sus. It was kind of a suspicious end, but yeah, I think he did it one time.
Prince Nassim had like some insane knockout power, though.
Yeah, no, but it was one of those where it was like, I don't know if that was.
You think he took a knife?
Yeah, but he did. I think he got it with a one-hitter quitter on a body shot.
So this guy's fighting Prince Nassim Ahmed, like, oh, I'm so pretty, I'm so good. He's like dancing around him, literally.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'd watch Nassim fight Bruce Lee. That'd be a fucking awesome fight. Bruce Lee was really small. Did you know that? He was like fucking 5'9", 125 pounds.
You don't say.
I know, but like in my head, I imagine him being a little bit bigger.
I imagine him being 6'10" and rippling with muscle, and holding me in his manly Asian arms.
When I was
large Asian penis that they're known for.
When I was younger, I didn't know that fucking Muhammad Ali was fucking huge. So I don't know. Because
it's also you always hear people talk about his speed, and you don't associate that with a heavyweight boxer for some reason.
Yeah, I just saw. I wasn't into boxing at the time. I was a fucking nerd, but I knew that he beat Sonny Liston. I thought Sonny Liston was fucking gigantic. That's what I was getting.
I'm taller than Sonny Liston. That's the fucking weird thing.
Yeah. No, I'm not tall enough to be taller than anyone. So
but he had Sonny Liston's reach was like a foot longer than it should have been. Yeah,
because he had the fucking gorilla arms. Anyway, this guy just got fucking wrecked in the first round. So let's go.
Like he should be dead, or
immediately unconscious.
In the first, the beginning of the fight. Damn, you suck. That's fucking like
you suck. Yeah.
Is it going to be that this guy's name is Glass Joe?
That'd be a terrible fucking ending. Okay, continue.
As I fell, he struck a blow to my face. My head whip-flashed backwards with such force that discs C8 and C7, those had been dislocated in the past, which is why I knew their names, near my spine were moved out of place. You should be dead.
You are done.
Also, he cheated. You're not allowed to hit someone as they're going down.
I fell onto the floor, crippled by the early blow.
Could be like a Jack Dempsey kind of thing where you could punch them when they were falling down.
Oh my god, I watch all of his older matches. Those are muggings. What the fuck are you in there for, ref? God, why are you across the ring away from the guy that's getting mugged?
Her team was fucking roughing them back in the day, huh?
Oh, God, he used to be good. Go on, Raptor, sorry.
Dude.
This can't be happening to me. I am a threat.
Bonk.
I am a threat.
Oh boy.
Oh dog.
Oh no, DMX's ghost has come out to charge over this.
Before I finished uttering the words, he quickly bolted over me and swung downwards.
No,
this seems illegal.
It is very illegal. He is down. He's down. What the fuck? Like, no era boxer would allow that.
Maybe would have been misled. This isn't boxing. Is this a fucking death match?
Maybe
He's the fucking Russian guy from Rocky 4. If he dies, he dies.
Maybe it's well, no. Even Ivan Drago like obeyed the rules of boxing. He just he accidentally. Well, I don't know. He coincidentally killed someone. I think it was pretty purposeful on his part.
He punched me straight on my chest over my heart. I crashed onto the floor with my heart unbeating due to the impact of a punch. Dead.
What the fuck? Who is the? Who is this? It's some European boxer. It said. Like, what's his record?
You are dead. I heard the
dead.
ringing of the bell. No, you didn't.
Oh, are we still talking about this guy's fucking dead?
Okay. What is happening?
Dead. But he was hot. Guess what? He's not. He is dead. Dead.
The bell, signaling the match is up. Okay.
Wow, you suck. You lasted like 3 seconds.
Flashes of light surrounded me, and I heard the steps of his victory. I was asked if I was alright. I didn't speak. They shook me around.
Wait.
I didn't move, because you're dead.
Wait,
they looked into my eyes. I didn't blink. They assumed I was unconscious, not realizing that Edward had snatched out my only hopes and dreams. My life.
The only time, like...
He's dead.
This kind of reminds me of, because the real life, like, tragic story that happened to, who was it? The guy that Sugar Ray Robinson killed in the ring.
Oh, I don't know.
And that's a really fucked up and frightening story, because Sugar Ray Robinson actually had a dream where he was like...
I knew about that.
Yeah, he was like screaming for him to get up because he didn't want him to die. And he woke up screaming. And he called he actually called like his local pastor and said, I had a dream that I was gonna murder this man in the ring. Like, I need to know. And the guy said, like, don't worry, God would never allow that, something like that to happen. And then the night of the fight, he beats him to death.
Oh, guys. Oh, I just read ahead. Oh, this guy gets...
Don't spoil nothing.
I'm not spoiling nothing. Let's keep going now.
Oh, I can't wait. It's just one of the classic, oh, my ghost is writing this bullshit.
Oh, no.
I was lifted up and brought to the locker room. No attention was brought to my slightly loose head dangling from their arms. Dicks.
It'd be hard to not notice, I'd say.
My slightly loose head dangling from out of my boxer briefs. My boxing shorts. He hit me so hard, my boxing shorts like unlaced and dropped.
He literally, it's like knocking the socks off someone, but it's their underwear.
This guy could probably do it. This boxer that he fought is like the ultimate badass.
This guy is literally Superman.
He literally killed him in one shot.
He's Superman shots. If he was evil.
Okay.
It was literally body shot, headshot, dead.
No, not even that. I think the first blow hit him so hard, he severed his own, like the disc in his spine were knocked out of place. And then
that was the second hit. The first hit hit his ribs, which shattered his ribs, and then he hit him in the head, which shattered his spine, and then he got his head shattered again with another punch on the way down.
I'm trying to think of a fighter that, like a real life boxer that could do something like this.
No one. Maybe Max Holloway or something. But like,
no, Max Holloway is a death by 1,000 cuts type.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably punch you as you were falling down, though. So.
Oh, true.
Be like, fucking like JoJo Bizarre Adventure, fucking punch you. Anyone that says JoJo fights aren't realistic needs to watch a Max Holloway fight because it's literally that for 25 minutes.
Like, what was the record that he set? Like, he landed 500 punches?
400. Oh, no, 500. It's like 40-something punches
400
again.
punches landed in 25 minutes.
That's more times than an average person breathes in 25 minutes.
Then he was like talking shit to Daniel, like talking shit to the commentary table while someone's trying his best to hit him, and he gets just dodging him while talking shit. to another person.
Y'all don't know what we're talking about because you guys don't watch MMA.
I'm sorry.
Holy fuck, that was the craziest shit in history.
I'm sorry. Continue, Kenzie, while I pull up the image.
Is anyone still watching?
No.
We got 7 people watching. Holy shit! Wait, what the fuck? Why are people watching?
Okay, wait. They placed me over the locker room benches. My skin was starting to grow pale white as opposed to dark white, and the parts of my body that were struck by his hits were now black and blue. A trickle of blood slipped down the side of my mouth, hitting the floor and eventually gathering up into a puddle. 2 hours passed and I was still in the locker room, lifeless. Nobody knew I was in there. What do you mean?
Wait, where'd your corner go?
Why did no one call it like the hospital?
Even in like the pioneer eras of boxing, there was something resembling a standard.
Was this a really elaborate hit?
There were people that were in your corner at least, like your friends and coach would be there. They're just like, oh, fuck.
My fire's a fucking failure.
In fact, everybody left. They completely forgot about me, dead in the locker room. That's not something that easily slips someone's mind.
That's not how boxing works.
Hey, Jimmy, should we check on should we check on our friend in the box locker room? He seems kind of badly beaten. It's fine. It's fine. He'll be fine.
He's bleeding
no matter what happened.
So he's bleeding out of his anus. He got hit that hard. Tell that pussy to walk it off. I got him booked for another fight next Tuesday.
My man,
they just weakened at Bernie's him for all his next few shows.
Hey, if you don't keep up the momentum, we're gonna get unranked. Come on.
Come on, you have to fight Islam Makhachev. You can't, you'll become unranked.
Come on, man. Next, okay, let's see the fight card. I got you booked against these big name contenders. Who's this Ernie shit? Never heard of this dude. George Foreman. You can fight him next after Ernie Shavers. Ron Lyle. Who's he? See, I got you easy fights. You're good.
Shannon Briggs.
Who's this Mike Tyson? Tyson's a girl's name. He's like I'm just imagining his body's literally decomposing in the ring, but he's still like a hell on earth.
Tyson's touching his corpse, basically.
Zombie boxer.
Ghost boxer versus zombie boxer.
Zombie boxer actually sounds like a cool concept for a video game.
Zombie boxer sounds like the Korean zombie, to be fair.
Oh fuck that! Oh yeah. I'm still a fan.
Korean zombie's the best nickname, by the way.
This fucking Korean dude comes out to Zombies by the Cranberries. It's awesome.
Fucking awesome. He's such a cool guy.
I love him so much. You have to take a break to go fucking be in the South Korean military, and then he came back and still bodied the next opponent he had.
I hope he gets a title fight in the future.
Brian Ortega fucked him up so bad though.
Yeah, if Brian Ortega. Featherweight is such a weird division because it's you got Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway at the very top. Then midway down you have Brian Ortega, and then everyone else is fucking 30 miles below all of those three.
That's kind of the problem with the women's division right now. There's Valentina Shevchenko, Rose Namajunas.
Except the women's divisions. The women's divisions are worse because it's only one person per division. It's you got Amanda Nunes at the top of 2 divisions, 1.5 divisions, kind of, and
Shevchenko.
No one near her.
Rose Namajunas.
Yeah, but strawweight's actually pretty competitive. At least there's a couple of competitors in strawweight.
Rose is so much better than most other people, though.
Carla Esparza is coming back.
Okay, good.
Go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go, continue. Stop doing this now.
Yeah.
It's hard. You don't understand how hard it is to not do this.
It's so nice to just talk about it. Continue. Boxer.
Yes. Someone with ADHD, has no idea what it's like to be sidetracked by stuff you're passionate about.
Watch MMA with us. You'll like it.
I was alone until Edward walked in to grab his extra boxing gloves, still in the locker room, hung over his lustrous metallic locker.
From the Pioneer era was like, well, they use fucking horsehair in the gloves instead of actual like something protective.
This is definitely like supposed to be said in like the fucking. This didn't happen when Jack Dempsey was fucking.
And I heard the opening of doors as I was being brought somewhere. What was he doing to me? Hadn't he done enough? Cold air brushed against my body, and then I was surrounded by pizza boxes, booze, tissues, and plastic bags.
He was running for the average 23-year-old.
This opponent is like an alpha Chad. It's like I'm gonna go.
Like,
gets the shit stomped out of him in less than 5 seconds in 3 punches, and then he takes his lifeless body and throws it in the fucking trash. Damn, this dude's a fucking savage.
What a fucking legend.
God, this guy's so great.
This guy is not having a good day.
Once he dies,
Oh my
then
god, look,
it's going to trash.
Okay. I was thrown into a dumpster. Although I was lifeless, I was furious. Absolutely furious. You're dead.
You don't have a say in this, bitch. You lost that match fair and square. I can't tell if they want us to sympathize with him, but like, you lost in 3 punches.
You lost and died in 3 punches. Maybe boxing wasn't the thing for you.
Like, if there was some shit, like, if some shit where it was like, this dude obviously cheated to win, like, he, like, took this, like, that would actually be a decent allegory to, like, real life shit that happened, right? Where he took the padding out of his gloves and just, like, cheated to win, beat the shit out of this dude.
Yeah.
And it was a competitive fight. But no, this dude, fair and square, got killed in the ring.
Killed in 5 seconds.
You don't deserve to come back as his vengeful spirit. You suck.
You suck. You died. Get out of here.
Get wrecked, loser.
Please.
I already did.
I need to go to the next slide. It's so funny.
Oh, please do.
I was furious that I lost to him. Furious that he didn't respect me. Furious that he desecrated my body.
Did he teabag you too?
You pissed on your corpse.
I pissed on your corpse. Now I'm going to go fuck your wife. Your
He
kid's
cut off
mine
his,
now.
he sold his body on the black market so he could buy more boxing gloves.
I was imagining, like, yeah, you ever notice why your kids have dark skin and don't have... Yeah, everyone knows why your kids have, like, blue eyes and blonde hair and aren't dark skin like you? They're mine. And now I'm gonna take what always, I'm gonna take what always belonged to me. My kids and your wife.
Your kids call me dad, your wife calls me daddy.
Please, I need it. I need the next slide.
Okay, go on.
As I lay in the dumpster, he leaned in and whispered into my pale white ear.
Hey, bro. You'll never return to boxing. Sissies don't belong here, bitch.
Day.
They're spitting on
Trash bag, white, black and blue, body jet.
I thought that was... I thought it was saying that the narrator could hear the sound. I thought like someone was like above the apartment building, like throwing trash onto his body, burying him.
Continuous events of people shitting on this dude.
This dude, like, he talked about so much about like, I'm gonna be in minutes to ruin everything.
Head into place. I lifted my head up high, looked him straight in the face, and grinned. I lifted my boxing gloves in front of my face and took 2 steps before jetting towards Edward.
Imagine if he got
faster than him, stronger than him, and my moves were silent.
He comes back as a zombie and dies again.
Zombie movies.
He throws a shit.
He's fucking destroyed it. That would be the funniest.
That's called a cross counter, sissy.
Then he gets his head.
As for me, I was never looked for. My body was never found as no one seemed to remember me. The arena was closed after customer.
Oh, jeez, what the fuck is that word?
Hang on, give me a minute.
That's not a word. That's definitely misspelled or something.
It's a word.
It is a word.
And you just know that this guy originally used gloomy and then just went into Microsoft Word and looked up synonyms. A sepulchral voice whispering.
A little voice.
Yeah, but
Wait.
That was shit. Holy fuck, that was bad.
It brought us immense
It was
entertainment.
dookie.
That was shockingly bad. Like,
Indeed.
Now I remember why I saw that word before. It was some fucking Skyrim, the Twilight Sepulchre. That's all I knew where it was. So yeah, this is. I actually think that there's some. It's irritating as shit.
I'll never watch that show.
But seriously, I honestly think that a story like this, like the concept of this actually does have merit some potential because, like, again, like you've heard me and but the idea of someone like it's like the suggestion I had where this guy probably got cheated in a fight in the ring and died and came back as a vengeful spirit. I think that's kind of interesting. I think that merit, but
this is just.
I think this is one of those things where because of Alpha Chad, what's his name?
Yeah, no, this is it's a funny bad story, but it is genuinely just kind of not good, is it? Fucking like OC character story, except maybe this one's a little better because at least he doesn't have fucking bright purple hair.
I would give most people,
and at least it's fairly well written, I'd say. Like, at least from a grammatical and like spelling perspective. As a story, it's pretty terribly written, but
yeah. And what the fuck was that word in the last paragraph? Like, you pretentious.
That they know what words are.
I think it would benefit the person who wrote this to also have a better understanding of like I don't know, like maybe it's just me, like have like a detailed account of how the match went. That would be actually interesting. The mindset of the narrator we were following as he's trying to fight this seemingly impossible. But to him was like, you suck shit, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up. And
he's kind of like cartoonishly bad. He's like a Randy.
But then he wins. But it doesn't work because he won.
Did they or are you anticipating that?
Okay, there we go. I think television has become a lot more dull in recent years because everything is held under such tight reins by the sponsors. With everything being monitored like it is, people can't get away with things that they used to, and maybe that's a good thing. But if we were talking about that earlier in the beginning of the stream, wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Cosby Daft? Stop stealing our stream ideas, buddy.
Stop ripping us off 10 years before we did something.
But if one has time to spare and is willing to wade through the crap, there is the occasional kernel of interest that to be found. From my experiences, I usually come across these in the public access, international, and religious channels. The show I'm going to talk about now is of the third variety. It was a humble little show by the name of Faith Buddies, a show featuring interactions. But ever seen things like Junior Christling?
Yes, those are both real things.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I've heard of the former. It's a sort of show with a familiar, unnerving feel to it. Hey, I love veggie.
Never talk shit about veggie.
It.
Well, you didn't give the kudos to the other one, the one that's a topic we're all interested in, boxing.
The one we're unanimously interested in.
Everyone was interested in it, like on topic. I heard like, especially
it
Kenzie.
Was definitely something that every single person here likes talking about. Watching.
Good God, Kenzie would not. That's awful.
And canceled.
Damn it.
God damn. But that's not to say it didn't have its own unique quality to it. Boy, did it ever. That's one thing Junior Science, there had to be at least 3 crazy people involved in the production of Faith Buddies. It was definitely a low-budget venture, constrained in both the monetary and creative sense. The thing about the show that caught my attention was the characters and the unique tone that Faith Buddies had. Look, dude, if you're writing this in the past tense and speaking in almost like a, in a biographical sense, choose when it comes to my palatable for young colored pencil images. Sounds like fucking dingo pictures. Even as a kid, I children's works because there's not really a lot of ways you can like dance around the fact that this dude murdered.
Yeah, no, fucking the Bible is pretty fucked up when you really read it.
Bible don't fuck around.
God literally told dude to murder his brother or his son, and the dude was like, okay. And God was like, whoa, what the fuck?
What the fuck? I was kidding.
Why'd you actually do it?
You were actually gonna do it? What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's fucked up.
This is just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, my apostle.
Well, no, God didn't do that. I think he was like actually like okay, well you can listen to orders. I'll reward you for that. But don't actually kill him. But I'm glad you
don't murder him. Don't actually do it though. Do it like metaphorically, but not really.
Okay, the plagues of Egypt. Okay, the drowning of the story in Noah's Ark, the plagues of Egypt, especially this one, the trials of Job. Oh my God, the trials of Job.
Numerous appearances of Satan.
That is not something that I would tell a kid. Like, look, the adage of Job, or the lesson that's supposed to be taken away from Job, is that shit happens, and that's just it. That's the lesson it indicates. Like, sometimes shit just happens. Bad things will happen to you. Deal with it. In the Bible, be that, but Job gets punished. Like, he doesn't get like it's not that he's getting punished. It's that God's like, look, these things are gonna happen to you sometimes. But it's like, but God, what about all these times that you did good things to these people? Like, well, you know.
Paid. It's fucking like, yep.
Well, her and Carmen aren't canonically not together anymore.
No. What?
You remember how angry people got about that?
What? Why'd they break them up?
Because Miss Piggy's an abusive cunt.
Well, I know, but it's a fucking like cartoon thing.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the fact that like the people were like really upset because he had like a new squeeze that was like thinner. It's like, oh, this. That was
like a marketing thing for the new Muppet Show. They broke up mid-season.
Damn.
But
I didn't even know the new Muppet Show.
Yeah, they got, but they were still saw like. I don't understand why people got so mad about it. Like, I get why people not be like averse to it. Like, oh well, I kind of think this stinks. Like, yeah, Miss Piggy and Kermit. Like, it's something I grew up with. Come on, man. Like, there are people that legitimately felt that like I'm being attacked as a big body. Fuck off. Get over yourself.
Haha. Get wrecked.
We'll turn and we'll get most of the verses most of the time. There'll be other times where you wouldn't mention the Bible to give me $20 right now. What verse is that in? The verse of $3.95. That's what I need right now.
I only got 3 minutes.
The first thing that caught my attention about the show was that Pinky's character had a distinct lack of warmth or empathy, which only got worse as the show continued. Pinky would give answers, but they would be very blunt and strangely defensive. Questions about hardships were swiftly answered with things like, "Be careful with questions." Oh, sorry, Raptor wanted to do voice.
Be careful with questions like that.
Or
question God's ways.
Pinky was
would
use it as his way to tell people to shut up. That actually does kind of like, I don't know, like something about that does kind of sound weirdly threatening. Like,
don't God's ways.
Yeah, like I'm only gonna tell you once, so you better listen.
It sounds like something a cult leader would say.
Yeah, like I actually kind of like that. The other two puppets.
Cult of Pinky.
Cult of Pinkie Pie. Oh no, he's turned into a brony. Kill him.
Murder them.
Do people still? Oh, the Zyg. Okay, first, people don't like furries. They think they're weird. Then bronies show up, and like people. Okay, forget about the furries. Look at these fuckers. And then the furries like, oh, they could be as gross as we want to be. And then the furries came back like,
finally, freedom.
And then like, oh my god, look at the furries over there again. Look what they're doing.
CGI, it looks awful. The people are like salivating at the mouth already.
Oh, the one Christian didn't like before he got arrested or she got arrested.
I don't know.
Sorry, slipped.
Yeah, I think she complains about everything.
Same show.
I'm guessing she's gonna complain about being in fucking prison. But...
I'm one of those weirdos who doesn't feel obliged to be nice to a rapist. I'm kind of controversial like that. There were other people who would show up and when needed, bring up that and then drop it immediately because no one wants to open that can of worms for the 15th birthday. They would get curious about something, come to faulty conclusions, and when the kids would take them to Pinky to set their dumbasses straight. I don't know. I read that like take them to Pinky to set them dumbasses straight. Pinky would give them a weird, disjointed lecture, and they would change their opinion. Pinky also didn't shy away.
Kids. That's why I need the cure.
Because I don't know if I ever covered. Because I did cover with the Overanalyst years ago, 1999, and one of the biggest issues.
I remember that.
One of the biggest issues I have with that story is that things escalate way too quickly with the public access show, and it becomes too overt, and it's not frightening to me anymore because it makes no sense to me that things would be that overt.
On the air.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this would be a fucking show about fucking Mr. Bear smashing someone's fingers with a hammer was on the fucking air.
Like, that's one of the things I think that normal porn for normalpeople.com isn't a perfect, it's not a perfect story by any means, but I like the fact that a lot of the fucked up things that are happening things seem weird and disconnected, but although it does ramp up at the end where, like, overtly horrible shit is happening.
A fucking chimpanzee eats someone.
Yeah, but, to me, the scariest part, like, the performance.
Friended movie where it's like, fuck. Dude, this is dark web.
God, Unfriended sucks so hard.
It's the worst, isn't it?
The second one's even worse. I don't even know how entertainingly bad. Excuse me.
You didn't think the one where the fucking dark web guys have something that changes their fucking voice and their face and also gives them fucking
super hack their faces on webcams.
And also gives
old hate description right there. Like, if you just like, it wasn't met with a response, but the puppet just stared at him for a while, and it kind of made it like unsettled.
Also, cold, hateful stare. It's a fucking puppet.
Do you think they get her?
This is my life. This is what I do for a living.
All I do.
Although it did become wholesome at the end. It's like he walks away. I'm leaving. Like, I love you. I love you too.
Oh, Kermit's the best.
I love Kermit.
I fucking love Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's the fucking best song.
You mean Rainbow Connection?
I'm about to say what? Well, I love that song too, but
I didn't remember the title off the top of my head. Also, I just read ahead, and oh boy, it's gonna get fun.
I wouldn't think that a scene of two puppets nuts. Fate Buddies quickly became a guilty pleasure for me. How much of an asshole Pinky was, I couldn't help but be amused by the guts the little puppet had. People would tell it like it is, not politically correct. He would tell those SJWs and blue hairs what's what.
Ben Shapiro voices Pinky now.
No, absolutely not. I will kick you off the call.
It is tempting. But at last.
What is wrong with OBS?
Nah, my future is. Nah, my disconnected my actual YouTube account. I don't want anyone to know that
poor girl on the verge of tears. You failure. You disappointed me for the last time, Raptor. That was the first I really started to really question what the intent was behind this. Really, the first time, huh?
Only that.
So you start now, not after an episode on what is it, like sensitive Christian's topic.
Not the ones where they shut Satan all the time, or
vaccines. You didn't really like trust the episode where Finky said that vaccines were a conspiracy concocted by Satan to turn everyone into reptile people.
You didn't trust that. You didn't question his show when the apple on the stick.
didn't they've
Pinky told him how.
get it right.
You didn't. You kept trusting this show, even when Pinky was teaching the children how priests like to give them special hugs. Sometimes it's natural. Don't tell mom and dad it's a secret. It's between you and God.
Keep telling. We're never gonna finish.
It was. And don't worry, priest crying and then praying to God for forgiveness every time just means it's a good thing.
It was always a little odd, but the later episodes came quite vile and mean-spirited. Okay, it became vile and mean-spirited.
Like Pinky wasn't basically bewaiting that one girl because didn't go to church for every day of the week.
This was called
vile or mean-spirited enough.
I don't know. I tried to show this show to everyone on Reddit, but they kept saying that I don't know, some weird thing about Pinky being something based and red-pilled. I don't understand. What does that
mean? They kept saying how Pinky was
along with everything else, even the way Faith think. Oh, sorry.
How do you feel about minorities?
How do you feel about eating ass?
Before saying,
hey, we're gonna be learning about minorities.
Followed by a black title card with a word like guilt or forgiveness on the right front. The word for the last episode was predestination. That's what I said.
That's where it's life is essentially plotted out. So if you're going to go to hell.
Final Destination was Final Destination 2 and why it was the best one.
No. But given my appearance on here, I know where I am predestined for.
I don't care.
Predestination is essentially where if you're destined to go to hell, you can't stop it. So you're going to hell.
Yeah, I know. Like I have some understanding when it comes to this topic. Not that I care too.
Genuinely, I only found out that concept was a thing through this story.
And right from that moment, I had a feeling, my God, that something wasn't right. I had only seen another kids show touch on a controversial topic such as homosexuality and sin, although briefly and with a lot more tact. What other show was that?
I
know that they exist, and I know that I've seen episodes of like shows that talk about it. And I can tell you that they don't. I don't know if you could use the word tact.
Elmo's World.
Captain Planet talking about AIDS. Funny.
I think it's time to teach these kids about the HIV virus.
That one scene, and I have it like on my favorites. Is when they get what was it? What was the name of that rat guy? It was like
I don't know.
Who cares?
Scum.
He was like in the audience trying to get it against this kid who had HIV. He's like, get him out of here! And it's like, psychic like he has AIDS.
Gross. My favorite scene for Captain Planet was the scene where he's literally weakened by Hitler. I never seen a man with so much hate in him.
For some reason,
racism and bigotry are worse than any pollutants.
For some reason, Hitler has a Fu Manchu.
Well, because it can't actually be Hitler. It
has more to be like knockoff Hitler, great value Hitler.
It's Rudolf Hitler.
I think my favorite cartoon version of Hitler was from Astoria. It was like Hitler was like literally like a seething demon, like. Hello.
My favorite's from Dragon Ball where he gets fucking nuked immediately.
My favorite depiction of Hitler in like pen to paper was The Legend of Koizumi, where Hitler is
my favorite version of Hitler was that.
I'm not done talking. Huh? Okay.
Mine was from World War II.
Why don't you shut up? In fact, you know what? Just because you interrupted me, I'm gonna bring it up on screen right now.
No.
Do it. This is your stream, buddy.
Legend of Koizumi. For those who don't know, Legend of Koizumi is a manga about world leaders playing mahjong for the fate of the world.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And one of the arc villains was a resurrected Hitler, and he became finally tapped into his latent energy and became a super Aryan, as you can see on screen.
Oh, for the love of fucking God!
I need to wait. The stream is always gonna be behind for me.
Yeah, I'm on behind as well.
Okay, one of my favorite images was it was also like Hitler being like the first time he's shown on screen is like, oh, I don't even know how to describe it. Okay.
Can you send it in chat, actually?
Oh, I sure fucking will. Hold on, let me copy.
Send Hitler being based in the chat. Oh no. Oh no. Oh
my god.
It's beautiful.
It's literally Vichy Hitler.
Oh no, I just saw the picture in the stream. It's like Super Saiyan Hitler.
He's super Aryan Hitler.
I'm gonna fucking die.
I can't copy image address. Let me see. Send this to my good friends in chat. I love this series so much.
Super Hitler.
Jesus Christ.
I think the thing I love about it most is that there's nothing in terms of how it depicts people like actual politicians is nothing like it doesn't take sides. It's like everyone's depicted as kind of the only person that's depicted as a weakling is Kim Jong-il.
How do you not pick sides against Hitler?
Well,
seriously.
I'm talking about like real like.
Well, this was written by the Japanese.
Super Saiyan Hitler.
One of the most badass characters in the entire series is George Bush Sr. and Jr.
Oh Christ!
George Bush Jr. is like a crying like papa's boy at first. His father dies like a noble sacrifice, and then it turns out that he's like a George Bush Jr. is actually like a real badass who like kicks ass at mahjong.
I need us to stop talking about Super Saiyan Hitler.
If you haven't read this series, you should. It's awesome. Fucking
Democrats, People's Republic.
They have Joseph Mangala, and he's like literally Orochi from Naruto.
Oh no! Jesus Christ!
He's just Orochi from Naruto.
Why is this a thing that needed to exist?
It did, and I'm glad it does.
God hates you. Oh, that's a story.
Okay, and Pinky reacted to this concept in an entirely too pleased manner, unlike anything we've seen before. A little boy asked him to clarify what it meant, to clarify what it means, and he's told.
Some people are destined for heaven, which is up there, you dumb shit. And some are destined for hell, which is down there, you dumb little shit.
He rambles about the power of God. The boy asks, didn't Jesus die to save everyone? And Pinky replies,
He died for the chosen ones.
Oh, he died for Tyron Woodley.
That's something I wouldn't pay you $2 for that guy.
You know.
The other children gradually. I'm gonna play the race card. I have to get the absolute shit stomped out of me. The other children gradually began to grasp the gravity and become visibly afraid. The same boy asks how do people know when they're predestined to go? Pinky tells them.
You'll never be sure until you die, you dumb shit. But if you look deep into your heart, you just might find the answer.
Pinky then stares at the screen, and everything comes to a halt. I thought the show was over until that title card comes up. There is no redemption for the damned. Another slideshow of illustrations appears. There's no Bible story or moral this time, just a glimpse of what the viewer has in store for them if they are not chosen. A man and a woman hugging each other before being burned. People with their feet chained to the ground, being eaten by marauding devils whose mouths span the entire body. I've read Berserk, okay? I know what's really hood. I've seen that arc with the fucking bishop.
Yeah.
People being impaled by spike. God, that fucking artwork is fucked up.
You good?
No, I'm talking about Berserk.
Oh, okay. I still need to read Berserk.
Berserk is great, although I would argue that it kind of peaks in the earlier bits, the earlier arcs.
People and Legs of Fire.
People with legs of fire having their bodies burned and regenerated forever. Giant deformed creatures fighting and gouging each other's eyes. Well, that doesn't really relate to me. That's just what
that's really badass.
They're just kind of doing their own thing over there. Like I just imagine turning to saying like, what are they actually going to torture us? Like, no, they just leave them alone.
you get a front row seat to a kaiju battle as you're burning alive.
These two demons that just really for some reason hate each other. They hate each other so much that they skip out on torturing people just to try to kill each other for all eternity.
They're just they hate. I like that concept of two dudes that just fucking hate each other so much that they fight each other no matter what.
That was a fucking episode of Tales from the Crypt that was based on that. Those two guys that like had a psychotic hatred of each other, and they kept like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I need to watch Tales from the Crypt. I need to watch it. I need to watch a couple things.
They try to keep coming up with concepts to potentially like kill each other, and they all end up failing.
Yeah.
The accompanying music is spliced with the sounds of screaming and painful cries, with intermittent quips such as Pinky. Of course, repeating that this is the wrath. Oh, sorry.
This is the wrath of the Lord.
And
it makes me happy to see sinners get what they deserve.
This horror is thankfully cut short a few minutes by another abrupt cut. This time the credits started rolling, but the scene is zoomed out to show the whole set, including black lights, cameras, and microphones. The kids and puppets are nowhere to be seen. God, man. The kids in the black... I don't know. I'll complain later on. A man in the black hood proceeds to douse everything in gasoline before setting in a flame. The cameraman follows him out, and the last scene shows the black hooded man, the cameraman laughing as they toss the puppets using the show in a black furnace, with the final shot being a close-up of the burning Pinky puppet. It hasn't been that long since I saw the last episode, and I've yet to find any answers as to what the intent of the show really was, or I think they were quite overt in what the intent was, buddy.
Yeah, you don't get my... I think it was a little subtle. Too subtle for this guy.
I mean, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of these weird, like, performance art pieces. It kind of went over my head, to be honest. I think it was something about, I don't know.
I don't know what their stance on homosexuality was, to be honest.
I think they're kind of, I don't know, it feels like they were on the fence with me. I think it was, pick a side.
They definitely didn't tell you what was going to happen if you go to hell.
I had some guesses as to what might have been covert parodied all along, or perhaps the show's founders got their funding cut and there's a way of getting back. Or maybe they're just crazy. I don't really know. I will say I do like that it doesn't try to
shoehorn an explanation.
Not just that, but like I think there's a common tendency when it comes to writers as to.
Okay, wait.
What?
This is the guy that wrote NES Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
And he also wrote number porn for normalpeople.com.
Oh, for real?
So
yeah, that guy's real way underrated. What the fuck?
Raptor, why'd you send us this? This is actually written by someone decent.
Whatever, it gave us some
I don't know. I haven't watched the stream. You may like the other part of Godzilla NES.
To be honest,
I like
it kind of drops off near the end.
I like the first half.
Yeah,
it's not becoming a real slog to read, especially with a lot of filler and fluff.
But
I will say I like the story more, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of
the ending of NES Godzilla made me laugh so hard.
I like NES Godzilla. I think this one's okay. I think the ending's a little... Like, the last two paragraphs, you didn't need those. You could have just been like, that was fucked up, wasn't it? Okay, moving on. You didn't need
to be honest,
characters fucking burning the building down or something.
Yeah, cut it off completely at, just like... Yeah, they're trying to teach a lesson about...
the wrath of God.
This is the wrath of God, and then it just cuts out, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck that was.
That was fucked up.
I haven't seen any other episodes. No new episodes aired after that. Or maybe some like weird shit where it's like the screen comes up and it's like someone explaining that the show got cut from their funding or something like that. Maybe like the sponsors actually did get on their asses for that. And like something that implies that something fucked up happened behind the scenes because of that episode. Implied.
What a good idea.
I think the story... Yeah, no, this is a pretty good story, to be honest.
I think it starts off strong. It kind of
It peters. It takes a while to peter off, though. Like the last 2 paragraphs, it peters off.
I think it wavers, if only because I think the strongest points of the story is what's like not so overt. With the Pinky, just like I like the idea of like these 2 characters like mouthing off the Pinky, and just the character just like the puppet just like stares at it for a second. Although I don't like the description of it staring at it like it's a puppet, like cold, hateful stare. Like just have the puppet like it moves its head, it just like stares at it, and you think it's funny at first, and then the shot just lingers on it, and it's like, oh.
I think it would be kind of creepy if the fucking puppet looked at the screen or something like that. It was just like. Dumb. It's almost like a fucking Jim face from The Office. It was just looking at the screen like this fucking idiot.
No, I think that would have been too. Like I'm talking about purely.
Yeah, no,
like,
actually saying it out loud. That
something unsettling. Like one of the things that I love about I think is not Italian horror. Italian horror is mostly rooted in gore. I think.
Yeah.
What type of Japanese horror tends to be like especially ghost movies. Tend to be like slow, lingering shots that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, why are we still on this? Please move. Like, you're not saying that move away. I'm getting bored. You're saying please move away. I feel uncomfortable with this.
I don't like looking at this.
Like, and that's kind of what I get out of some of these sections where it's describing Pinky just like doing whatever he's doing. I think the weakest part of this whole story is like you said, the last 2 paragraphs, like where it's like I think one of the things about this show that makes it more realistic is the sense that this is people who have a really fucked up perspective on it, trying to educate kids in a really fucked up way.
Yeah, the end doesn't make any sense from what was presented. Like in this, it was like
now they come off as outwardly malicious,
Christian, like moral, like. Teachings and such, and then it's like, oh no, demons, you're going to hell.
We have tainted your innocence. Now our work is done. Now let's destroy the evidence.
Yeah, it's just fucked up. Doesn't make any sense.
To be fair, this is a relatively old story because I think the oldest. I'm seeing the oldest comic here is like 2013.
This is definitely like. Because 2013 is it's the oldest comments I can find. So, and that's just on the wiki. So this is probably way older.
What do you guys think? Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you what you thought.
So I think what the problem with the ending is that, and this is a problem with like a lot of creepypastas that even are relatively good. Like this was kind of talked about in like Abandoned by Disney. Is that most of them like start off very atmospheric and creepy and tense, but I think what the problem is because
it just does a runner at the end. They just run out of ideas.
Yeah, because of what the majority of stories on the Creepypasta wiki is that most readers can't take subtlety. Like they need to be bashed over the head with something creepy in order to be considered good.
Honestly,
and I think that's the problem.
Honestly, anytime I think of Abandoned by Disney, and I don't know if this is a petty, like the term "photo negative Mickey," I can't take that. Just the term itself, for some reason, irks me.
Well, that part was stupid, but I was talking about most of it until that part, and then it just was creepypasta cliched central.
Like I wouldn't even like if it was like some like he finds like an abandoned set, like the costume room, and it's like the Mickey costume on the ground, and it slowly gets up to his feet, and like it tears its head off. No photo, like the fact that it's photo negative for some, like it's so specific that like wait what?
it's fucking Abandoned by Disney is just a fucking weird. It's such a weird story because like. We know that fucking Slime Beast can write endings and such. He writes in like Funny Mouth and such. But I guess he fucking ran out of ideas or something. He was just like, fuck it.
I think my
fucking negative Mickey.
I think my least favorite Slime Beast story is I don't remember what it was called, but it was like
Lost Episodes?
No. I don't hate Lost Episodes. I don't like the ending to Lost Episodes, but
Lost Episodes is I don't know what
I think it's all right.
Strange.
I think it was like an NES game that the character found, and it was like a MMORPG on an NES game. Yeah. And I think I talked to Slimebeast about it before. I don't remember the name of it, but it was supposed to be like something that was supposed to be a story about, like, kind of like showing how, you know, people, like, their standards when it comes to games has changed, where it's like all about arbitrary collecting and gathering with no little rhyme or reason or something like that. And like, I get it. It's just, I guess I get really anal about certain details sometimes, and like, well, it's an MMO NES game. I can't get past that. I'm sorry.
There's a fucking story. I don't know if it's not Slime Beast, but there is a story I found that I want to talk to you guys about one day.
What is it?
It's this, I don't even remember what it's fucking called, but it's just this fucking, like, gaming creepypasta, and it's like fucking 25 minutes long. It's pretty long, but most of it is just random bullshit, and then at the end it's like one of the bad guys, one of the, like, creepy enemies from the game shows up in the window behind his house or something. Ooh. It's fucking stupid. So, it doesn't even... Yeah.
So, I think this story is the worst thing ever.
Yes.
And I think, but I do think I have to concede that Pinky is indeed based in Red Pilled, and I have been radicalized by this story.
To become based in Red Pilled.
I'm going to go to Washington right now. No. They'll probably lock
I'm going to storm the Senate building.
They probably would lock my ass up for even joking about that now.
I mean, you're fucking... What are you, black? You'd be shot.
Yeah, I just... Like, I think we pretty much, like, covered it, like how do you, like, I think I have an interesting question to ask. Raptor, as someone who has an interest in, you said before, the topic of public access shows, especially like obscure public access shows, is something that kind of interests you. Like, how well do you think this story works with the premise that it, like, sets out with?
I would say it works with mixed results. Like in the beginning, like, it's pretty accurate. Like the whole, like, unsettling, like, vibe, like, it's like it's by some, like, insane person, but I think it gets too much when doing, like, the homosexuality episode. Like, I feel like that even for like a low budget, freaking funded by $14 a bus token TV show that only Pastor Dan and his daughter would see. That's, like, too much. Like,
yeah, calling someone the hard F.
Yeah, using gamer words back then. My God.
Gamer words.
Yeah. Look, we may be the Westfield Bastard shirts, but we don't use that kind of language, Mister.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I think I think the harsher language was kind of I think it kind of pushed too soon. It was too on the nose. Like, I think if it was like and Pinky scowling at her, at the little girl, like, if he, like, I think it would work better if Pinky was kind of passive aggressive and
instead of just saying it, like, you, like, oh yeah, he's dead, he's going to hell, fuck him.
And, like, trying to, like
you could have just been like, you know what's gonna happen to him, you know.
Maybe like saying horrible things about her brother, and also trying to assuage this girl, like, yeah, well, it's just God's plan. Like, look, he made his choice. It is a choice, by the way, and you're gonna have to live with it. You won't miss him anyway.
And then we'd be like, well, that's his choice, you know. But even if in the end, he's doomed for damnation.
He will figure out his mistake when the gates of hell open for him.
Very bad.
And to be honest, I think it would have been better if it cut that part out and just skipped, like, the predestination thing, like, because that's when it all, like, goes for a head.
I don't know. The predestination thing kind of fucking goes all out, though. It's a little bit much.
I think it would have been better. Like, it would have been actually even chilling if the images depicted, like, describe the, like, they have the images listed right here of what it was depicted, but at the detail that they were, like, drawn, like, sloppily drawn as if, like, a child draw them, like, these are people.
Ooh, yeah, that would be a good implication.
I'll be right back.
Kid drew
Oh yeah, that would've been really creepy.
like a kid drew the fucking.
Like they're so indoctrinated, they don't see a problem with like drawing what they're told, like this shit.
Yeah.
That's frightening. Like it kind of reminds me of it'll be like so you can imagine that scene's being depicted and music from the fucking caretaker like playing while that shit like is being shown.
Yeah. We need. Oh, that's a story we could read on Random Pasta Critique one time.
What?
The grifter. Is that a thing?
The Gristers?
Yeah, no, the grifter. The grifter tape or whatever it's called.
Hold on, let me 'cause I know that I've read the Gristers.
Yeah, I know. Tiny rakes running around, fucking eating people or something.
Big sexy Gristers.
Scary.
Oh, one idea for like Faith Buddies, if it was slightly better. Like basically all the freaking friend drawings doing like story segments really are drawn by kids with their names being credited like at the bottom doing the stories. Like doing a segment called Bible stories interpreted by kids. And which particularly adds to like the whole creepiness doing like the predestination part. Because there are actual kids who believe this stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I think the story's fine.
I think
it could have been better.
That's kind of this like the thing with a lot of this with Cosby Dav's a lot of early work is that he has a really solid idea, and the execution is always like just shy of being like something really like worth like paying attention to. Like the same thing with normalpornfornormalpeople.com.
Or Godzilla.
Or Godzilla NES, and I know people kind of are still. It's a polarizing topic in regards to the overall quality of that. I still argue that it's a decent, like a good story for the most part.
I like it.
I think it kind of just goes off. I don't say goes off the rails. I'd say the where it leads to me kind of just deflates for me. It just becomes too silly. I'm sorry.
Red is still one of the better Creepypasta characters, though.
To me, the mystery of like what this weird cartridge is like engrossing and interesting, and after a while, it just feels like it drags, and then the ending doesn't feel like it was built up on because it feels disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this thing is weird, and I'm trying to find out what's going on with it, and like, oh, by the way, spirit of your dead friend. How about that? How about that, tough guy? By the way, I'm going to stop your heart.
Red, yeah, no, I like the concept of Red was like, oh, you're not scared yet? Boom! Girl you liked had her head fucking crushed by a semi-truck. How you feel about them apples? Fuck you.
I returned with an ice cream bar.
Welcome back.
I'm sick of you
Welcome
flexing
back.
on me with
and
your...
what kind of ice cream car is that?
You sound...
Fudge.
Yum. Fudge is good.
I am beating myself up because I couldn't do my exercises more because I tweaked my knee eating ice cream.
Doesn't make you feel better that it's only 80 calories?
No. All I did, it wasn't just like I tweaked my knee because I tried jumping rope for the first time in a long time. And I can jump rope well, it's just that I'm also 300 plus pounds.
Are you a double Dutch master?
No.
Damn.
I can jump rope like I can do box like some boxers do, just straightforward. Although I've seen people like, what was it? Oh, what was his name? It was like George Carpenter or something like that. Oh, what was it like? It was like this French boxer, and he like does lunges as he jumps. Like he jumps once, lands on his knee, and then jumps up again and lands again.
Fucker.
Fuck.
I can't. Jump ropes are the fucking hardest thing for me, to be honest. I can't get the timing down.
My thing, I do. Let's see. I think yesterday I did like. I have a very simple routine. Basically, I have an exercise bike. My sister bought a long time ago, and I've been using it because my sister doesn't care to. They're gonna start soon because we're both trying to lose weight, and I do 12. I do a minimum of 12 miles a day, like 12 miles in an hour, and if I can't do. Like, if I do 12 miles but I haven't reached an hour yet, I keep going until I hit an hour and vice versa. And yesterday I did 13 miles and 13.6 miles in an hour, and my legs were feeling so like, whatever. Let me, like, instead of, like, recovering a little bit, let me immediately, like, the next day try to do jump rope first, then I'll get on the exercise bike.
Don't know. Again, I started jiu-jitsu recently, and holy shit.
Which kind?
What?
Which kind of jiu-jitsu?
Brazilian.
Traitor.
Why the fuck would I do Japanese jiu-jitsu?
Because they came up with it first.
Where the fuck would I even find a fucking Japanese jiu-jitsu?
Go to Japan,
America.
dedicate yourself to it.
But for real, no.
Catch wrestling can always beat jiu-jitsu. Live with it.
Shut.
I mean,
but for real,
I say that, but you know, there's no. There's a reason why Brazilian jiu-jitsu spread as fast, because there are gyms everywhere.
Yeah, the Gracies fucking love spreading their jiu-jitsu.
Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry.
I started doing jiu-jitsu and I got fucking. I'm terrible because you know it's my like 5th fucking time going.
Yeah.
So, but I fucking. We were learning how to do Kimuras and Americanos that day, and fucking I got my arm wrenched, fucking like 4 times in a single day. And afterwards, the next day I was like, oh, I can't move my arm. Oh, this isn't fun.
You know that move was. There's some talk about that movie. That move might have been actually invented by Billy Robinson.
The Kimura?
Yeah.
No, the Kimura was.
No, like it was done first by Billy Robinson, but it was this is going based on what I've been told. But the term was coined by Kimura after he beat Helio Gracie with it.
Yeah. He beat Helio Gracie.
Like I think it was like a double. Like when Billy Robinson did it, he just called it double wrist lock.
Yeah. Fucking. All I know is that it's not fun. It's not a fun time. It's not fun. You're fucking
the Gracie family actually did, like, we do owe the Gracie family for helping popularize MMA in America.
Yeah.
And
excuse for a minute.
they popularized Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in America, and that's a plus.
I'll take that as a yes.
But
yes, you got.
you know, I just think that I just don't like the revisionism. Like
About which parts?
the fact that you had to axe that tells everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Talking shit about, like, the time they spent talking shit about Kimura, like before the fight with Helio versus Kimura, talking all that shit, getting a casket, bringing it out to the ring, saying they're gonna drug it, with the fans throwing eggs at the Kimura as he gets to the ring, and then Helio gets the absolute dog shit beaten out of him. And to be fair, Helio's a bad motherfucker too. Like, getting his arm snapped in half and broken in the fight, and he still wouldn't tap.
To be fair, Helio was also a fucking sickly man, even during his, like, youth. So...
But the whole point of, like, they advertised that, like, you can be small and frail, and with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you can beat people much bigger than you, which is not completely true. Like,
oh, no, I fucking...
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is immensely useful.
Last class I went to, I was rolling with a dude that, we're both white belts, but he's been there longer than me, so... And it's like my fucking 5th day there, or 6th day there, so I suck. But I'm like 190 pounds, and he was like 120, and I kind of felt bad, to be honest, because I fucking ragdolled him for like fucking 8 minutes straight.
Like, one of the most, I think it was someone who, like, a great big man will always beat a small, big, like,
oh yeah,
small
great
man.
Small man. I think that's gotta be fucking Bruce Lee, right?
I think it was like it was just wrestling. They were talking about wrestling promotion, though. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a great super heavyweight, you need to cherish them because they're a novelty.
Yeah.
And I just think, I don't know. Like, I don't, like, the Gracie family did the smartest thing they possibly could have in terms of promoting their brand of jiu-jitsu, and I don't blame them for that. I just don't like them, like, acting like, look, we always knew that our grandfather knew that he was an underdog coming into that fight. But no, don't lie. Come on.
Gracie's weren't underdogs until like fucking 80 years after that fucking fight. So
you remember when the first UFC, where you guys handpicked who you got to fight, and you kind of went out of your way to exclude anyone with wrestling pedigree?
Hey, to be fair, fucking even when they got a wrestler, Dan Severn, he still lost to Royce Gracie.
He came really fucking close to losing.
He lost though, and he was a fucking Olympic level wrestler. Someone fucking tried to argue with me that Dan Severn was an Olympic level wrestler one time, but he was on the Olympic team like 3 times. Fuck.
I think he didn't make it because he was too big, right?
No, he didn't make. He was an alternative. He was like, so basically, he was like the 12th best person in the country instead of being like the 3rd.
In some respect, like I think, like I love Dan Severn. I think everyone does, but in terms of like people use the term can crusher. Like, can you argue that Dan Severn is the most famous can crusher in history?
What? Hey, what are you talking about? Fucking Dan's a fucking legend.
I mean, yeah, but how many of his opponents have you heard of?
Forrest Griffin.
I'm talking about before he had bigger fights.
What do you mean before he had big fights? He was the fucking first at UFC. The UFC didn't have any big names until
give me 1 second. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Also, he fought
talk some mad shit.
He fucking fought like a high level Muay Thai guy, and he fucking did the 2 fucking German suplexes on him.
Hold on. Yes, he did. Oh, yes. Okay.
He beat Tank Abbott. He beat.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything, and you know it. Well,
he beat Oleg Taktarov.
To be
he
fair,
beat Mauricio Hua.
To be fair, like in that fight, I think I don't know. I kind of hold that fight against Tank Abbott. Not Tank Abbott. I hold that fight against Dan Severn, and it's not Dan's fault because that punches in the back of the head were allowed at the time. Yeah. But that fucked up Tank Abbott for the rest of his life.
Tank is a dickhead, though.
You see,
he fucking Tank. He watched Tank do that. He watched Tank fight that Hawaiian guy, and after he brutally knocked him out, Tank mocked his unconscious body by doing the fucking like rigor mortis pose. He was like, and Dan was like, oh, now fuck you. So he decided to beat the shit out of him for 20 minutes.
I'm looking at a lot of these guys don't have Wikipedia, but although I do like that he beat the shit out of Travis Fulton 3 times.
I'm looking it up because I want to argue with you about this. Dan Severn's a fucking man.
No, I love Dan Severn, but he beat a lot of literally who's.
I mean, to be fair, he fucking fought 100 fucking times, and it was early MMA, so.
No, actually, his most impressive like fights apparently came on like in the early set of his career.
Yeah.
By the way.
Hey, he beat Travis Fulton. Nice. Thank God.
By the way, Travis Fulton is in hell. If
yes,
there is a hell. I hate him, and I hope he's in horrible agony.
Oh shit! He drawed with Pat Miletich? What the fuck?
Yeah, see, like, how many?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you mad, bro?
He still beat fucking Forrest Griffin, so.
Look, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying that he has a lot of, like, his... I can't say his...
shit. He beat Travis Fulton 3 times. Nice.
I'm not saying that his record's padded. That's a horrible thing to say. Like, his philosophy is basically, I'll take any fight anytime. I don't care. Yeah. But, like, yeah, I think a lot of these guys are just cans. He beat a considerable amount of impressive people, but he beat more cans than impressive people.
To be fair, like I said, early MMA, when did he retire? 2012. Holy shit, he fought for a long time.
I'm not talking I love Dan Severn, okay? I've said it many times. Yeah. He's like one of the like pioneers of like wrestlers in MMA, and he actually opened the door for a lot of people, but his record's like kind of padded in some areas. Is that like fucking... What's his name? I'm not saying he's like that fucker that fought Tyson and got the shit stomped out of him. What was his name?
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna wrap Tyson in a cocoon of horror.
But for real, no, he does have a... Some of these earlier fights, he did have a fucking lot of good fights.
I actually do kind of feel bad for that. Pat McNeely, that was his name. I feel so sorry for that guy. Have you heard him talk?
Yeah, he fought... Yeah. It's unfortunate, dog.
They fucked his brain up.
Yeah. I don't like thinking about him now. But yeah, so he beat Paul Varlins, who was he never got to the top, but he was pretty good. He was also like fucking gigantic. Oleg Taktarov, fucking Royce Gracie, lost to Royce Gracie, but he fucking beat the shit out of him for like 15 minutes.
How heavy was he?
Which one?
I'm looking at 253. Okay, he was not too big.
Oh, Dan Severn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 150 something. He was bigger than Don Fry, which I didn't realize.
There was a video of him and Don Fry in the same room talking.
Yeah, because they're fucking best friends.
And it's funny because Don Fry sounds exactly like you would want him to sound like. Like he's got this grizzled old voice, like, yeah, I used to fight people behind you. And then you listen to Dan Severn and he opens his mouth. Yeah, well,
Dan Severn has like the most friendly voice in the fucking world.
I'm not talking shit. Like I can't stress enough how much I love Dan Severn.
I love Dan Severn and I love Don Fry, and I know they both have a podcast now, which is fucking fun.
Did you see that video of him he was talking? Someone, Don Fry has beef with Tank Abbott for insinuating that he
yeah, Don Fry was told that Tank Abbott lives in Arizona now, and he was
really?
like, "Oh, really?"
No, that laugh that he could like.
Yeah, he does the fucking demon laugh. He's like,
now that's some food for thought.
All right, are we done on the stream? Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's going for fucking hours.
I need to. I also need to get up at a certain time. I got an appointment tomorrow.
Lame.
Hope you guys enjoyed about an hour and a half of us talking about Dan Severn and Don Fry. And,
oh, that was over an hour and a half.
And about maybe an hour of talking about Creepypasta.
Actually, I hope you guys didn't enjoy this at all.
I do hope you enjoyed it, because it was really funny to me.
Not funny to me. I hate it every second. Kenzie, every 5 seconds talking about boxing. No one cares. We're trying to talk about Creepypasta, Kenzie. God damn.
We know. We know you like... We know you like talking about Godzilla and fucking MMA.
Always with misogynist, like Kenzie, misogynist.
What can I say? I'm a passionate person.
Kenzie and her misogynistic humor, and her race humor, and her boxing and wrestling talk. God, this is a nice, wholesome family channel where we talk about Pokemon and let's see what I'm trying to...
Oh shit! Fucking Forrest Griffin beat Travis Fulton as well. Good.
I will make you red pill and based yet, Vince.
Right here. Let's see. By the way, this is Travis Fulton. He was arrested for possession of child pornography and sexual exploitation of a child.
Committed suicide in custody. Good.
Fucking no, not good. Fucking get some justice, you piece of shit coward.
How many fucking times? Jesus, guys, this guy fought a lot.
Yeah, that was his one thing. He was never that great of a fighter, but his one claim to fame is that he had more MMA fights than anyone else in history.
Okay, so he fought one bare knuckle boxing match, 75 professional boxing matches, and he fought, holy good Christ, 320 MMA fights. Holy shit! How long was the streak? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
oh my
9,
God, this is boxing record
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
if
19,
only he had been killed in the ring.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28 fight win streak. Jesus Christ.
Well, fellas, this has been a fun stream. Hopefully I'm not going to invite Kenzie next time. Kenzie, if it makes you feel better, we can have an MMA stream with just you and me. So you can get it all out of your system.
Please. Name the day and time.
So you can talk about how much you love Don Cheadle or whatever his name is, that mustache dude.
Don Cheadle's an actor.
Don Cheadle. Haha, I'm funny.
Vince, genuinely though, we should do an MMA stream together someday.
Maybe we should do
excuse me, Bioman. I believe he was inviting me.
There should be like a reaction stream like classic fights.
Yeah, no, that'd be fucking fun.
Okay.
We can react to Diego Sanchez fighting Clay Guida. Or not, yeah, Clay Guida.
Or we can react to Diego Sanchez trying to beat fucking Nori Masvidal. That was so, that almost made me cry.
It's a sad end. Anyway, good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Fuck you all.
Goodbye.
See you tomorrow.